Yes, and we are getting into the penultimate episode of Mandalorian, Mando Monday live streams, and it wouldn't be House Burlington if we didn't have even just the slightest fuck up. It's our little Darth Denim, dude. Where just so everybody knows, I did have. I forgot to change the episode. The name of the episode is. I got the episode number right, season 2, episode 7, but what just came out, it said the tragedy. And we're not talking about the tragedy. We're talking about the believer. We're talking about the believer. But what's going on, everybody? It's me, Sean Tank Top. I'm over here at Costa Day Tank Top. Hope everybody's doing good this here week. And we are talking about the Mandalorian, season 2, episode 7. Mando. Yeah, oh no, I can't. You either got to do it in Carl Weather, you got to do it as Chief Grief's voice, or you got to do it as Nick Nolte. Like whenever you say Mandalorian, you know what I mean?
Every time.
Also, what's that guy gonna do when he meets like Bo-Katan and all these other Mandalorians, and he's like calling
just one of them, Mando?
Just one of them, Mando.
Right, because it's gonna be one of those things where it's like when your friends have like a similar sounding name and everybody looks up at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, huh?
Right. The entire crowd of Mando.
Totally. But we are over here. We're getting ready to pop up our Mando Monday live streams. Thank you, everybody, for so much for coming by. We appreciate y'all. Let's say hi to our cast of characters over there. We got ourselves Dustin and Morgan Drace. What's going on over there, Draces?
Doing great.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. We also have ourselves our resident lore expert, our Star Wars, like our Professor Star Wars, basically, over here, which is like that's what Professor Star Wars, aka Hillbilly Eilish, one of my favorites. We got TK Mad 21, etc. so forth. Maddie K Ray, what's going on over there, Maddie?
Hey, having a good time. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Happy to have you, my dear. And we have ourselves BrokeBoyGamer, one of our friends, a dear friend of the channel. We've had him on a bunch of stuff. He's been with us through our Watchmen coverage, through a bunch of we did a bunch of Star Wars coverage last year.
We did some Stranger Things.
Dude, some little Stranger Things action over there and stuff.
I remember
that show. That show was decent, right? But no, we give ourselves BrokeBoyGamer, a.k.a. Emil, one of our...
A.k.a. Mando class Rissian.
I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll drink to that.
Absolutely. Okay. Emil is joining us for this week, and we're going to be talking about this week's episode, which was, I think there's going to be a lot of interesting things to be said about this episode. I think this episode elicits a lot from the people that watch it. I think that some good, some bad. I think that I think that there's this is an interesting episode insofar as people's reaction to it, and then on top of that, I do think that the episode also has done some stuff that like Star Wars doesn't do enough, or that maybe even the season hasn't done enough. And then there's some things where I'm just like this episode in particular, kind of I wish that it did more of. But we're gonna get into all that. But before we do, just a shout out, this is a full spoilerific motherfucking discussion. Just so if you haven't seen shit, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here, but we appreciate you. But you're right. Exactly. We appreciate that you guys stopped by, even though you guys haven't seen the episode. So if you have, go back and watch it. We'll wait. Not the whole time. Okay, cool. You're done. And now you can come right now. And now that you've seen it, just so you know that we're doing a full spoiler discussion for everything leading up to as far as the story has gone in The Mandalorian up until this point. And to shout out, we already got ourselves a super chat.
Super chats.
Shout out to Louise Brooks. Appreciate you. Hold on a second. I'll see if I can pull that up there.
OMG. Jeez.
Oh my God. Shout out, Louise. We appreciate you very much. We'll get to that in 1 second. But just if anybody wants to know what's going on with these here super chats, super chat is for any dollar amount. So we will highlight your comment or question. If you want to make sure that you become a part of the conversation that we're having tonight, that is one way that you can guarantee it. I know that we have, I love our comment section. We have this vibrant, awesome, funny, engaged, like hilarious comment section every time that we do a live stream. So it's like I get to go back and just watch it and just watch the kick-ass fucking super chat, just the chat that's going on while we're talking. So, but if you want to make sure that you get your 2 cents in on this here episode and we talk about it, hit us up for super chats. We appreciate it. We're going to be splitting it amongst all of our watchers here today. So without further fucking ado,
Without further ado,
let's get into the General Kenobi thoughts about this episode. Emil, it's great to have you back. Let's let you lead with this here prompt. What were your general thoughts about the fucking believer? And Bill Burr from Space Boston would say, "We got ourselves a fucking believer over here." But yeah. So, what were your thoughts about this here episode, Emil? What were
you
you
pretty
thinking?
much took the words away from me, man. Like Bill fucking Burr, man. Exclamation point, kissy face. Like, man, like he just took that shit and ran with it, man. Also, just on a very like the rhythm of the universe. I love the fact that like on the second episode, to my knowledge, that's directed by a black dude. Your boy back, y'all feel me? I'm here for y'all. You know what I mean? I'm here to represent the dark side of the force, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Bill Burr just like took that shit and ran with it. Like it was basically like he got another like SNL monologue just in Star Wars form.
Yes.
And like just from him to like have like the being the asshole Bill Burr to like being the more like poignant, like he actually had like some depth to his character that I truly appreciated. And like all the other things that happened in the episode, my biggest takeaway that broke my heart was like no Grogu. But like, you know what I'm saying? But he's here in spirit every episode, you know? So yeah, Bill Burr is just an MVP, man. Like and that's a spoiler, but I have a different layer for that. But like, yeah, he just took it away. I'm just really proud to go from like hating Star Wars religiously to being like one of the like the driving forces of like this of this season for me, at least in this episode. Like, man, hats off to that man. And he even got a you people joke in. Chef's kiss.
As we said in our video, and Morgan, who is from New England, who's from Massachusetts and shit,
Boston area,
Worcester area,
around Worcester.
Around Worcester area, but she like Boston's got a Boston, and when he did
it.
So we got into it.
I would like to posit a planet for Space Boston. I would like to posit Nar Shaddaa as Space Boston.
Okay. Why?
Because you don't fuck with anyone in Nar Shaddaa, much like you don't fuck with anybody in Boston.
That's okay.
And imagine a Bostonian saying Nar Shaddaa. Can we just
Nashada?
Nashada.
Yeah, I can see that for
fucking
sure.
Nashada.
Also, I mean, like, just to be clear, I will just take the brunt because I'm sure it's going to be me that pulls that fucking lever more than anybody. We apologize for all the bad fucking like Boston.
Well, I know mine was the shittiest, but like I when in Rome, do it to Boston.
I'm from there, and mine is kind of shitty. So
no, I'm probably one of the fucking worst when it comes to like I am like the kid in fucking Where the Wild Things Are, like with the fucking hat, like leading the pack on the shitty Boston fucking. You know what I'm saying? So
but it's the bravery of your attempts that it always inspires me, man. Like hero shit, man.
I truly want to say that I hope to God you are at the front of every charge on a bad accent. Like that is where I picture you as a person.
Without question.
That's my zone.
I know it is.
That's where I live.
And I love it for you.
Thank you, my dear. But to that point, Maddie, what were your general thoughts about the episode overall? What did you think about this week?
So I know I was in the minority again, not liking Migs Mayfeld in his earlier episode of season 1, and so I was kind of like not looking forward to it. But I really, really enjoyed what they tried to do and what they did do, and I really did not expect to like it as much as I did, and I would rather feel that than any other way. You know what I mean? So
to be kind of
pleasantly surprised. Yes.
100%. Yeah. I pleasantly surprised. I mean, I think that there are, because I heated on the episode like a little bit, and I will continue to do so before the end of this fucking live stream. That's like, because I think that there are some things to do, but I think that there are. Like I said before, like there's things that are really admirable and cool and interesting that like the show doesn't do enough, and then there's some stuff that I was like that left me severely like wanting in this episode too. But I think
I agree with you. I agree.
This song this episode has something for everybody. Like if you didn't
great way to put it.
And I mean, like, insofar as like, if you weren't satisfied, it's got some stuff for you. There are some people like on our comments, like on the video they were like, this is one of my favorite episodes of the season by far. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Cause I mean, it's mostly like because this episode's very pointedly is mostly just about character. It's like a character study of like Mando and Bill Burr, like surprisingly.
But I would also argue that it outlines more of the problem with the New Republic a lot as well too, and it does a lot of work bridging the gap from RTJ all the way to The Force Awakens. Like I think it does a great job sketching that world out a little bit more.
There was a little thing that I don't know if because it's not exactly my pick for the Easter egg, but there was a fun thing that Hellbilly Deluxe, that Richard Brake, that Space Joe Chill fucking like said when he said like, what people want is order, and you're like,
you're like the first order. He said the word. It's like everybody was Leonardo DiCaprio going.
That's a good one.
100%. So there was some fun stuff. Drases, how about y'all? What are you guys thinking about this episode?
My immediate reaction, you can even see it on like our reaction, our first one. I was like, oh, like I wanted to learn. I'm like all gung ho about like learning more information as far as like Moff Gideon's whole deal and just like more about the story we've been dealing with. But on my like, when I took a chance to like sit back and actually think on the episode and marinate on it, I actually really, really enjoy it more than I initially did. Because I'm like, oh, they're delving into like, the ethics of like taking over or winning a war, or what do you do when you win a war? You're not like automatically the good guy just because you're like, we're the light side of the force or whatever. Right. Like, we're the rebels against this fascism. But it's like, I just really, really enjoy that they went there. And I just loved, like, I actually, again, I wasn't that into Migs originally. But yeah, like Maddie said, I'm just like, in this one, I'm team Boston space guy.
Team Space Boston. Team Boston.
I'm gonna be the outlier. The more I think about this episode, the more it's my bottom pick of the season. Like, it's the best acting of the whole season, and also my least favorite episode.
Both can be true. Both can absolutely be true.
This is the great divide. It's this is like, okay, like great show. I'm really excited to be in the universe. But like this episode was inconsequential, and we only get 8 episodes. There was things I liked in it, but it was super short and didn't do enough for me.
Right.
I super feel like what you're saying, Dustin. I guess I didn't like deal with when I'm watching it. Like, and usually first season, I think I did have like an episode that was like an absolute. Like I think in the first season when they have to just stop the bandits from attacking the village, that's probably one of my least favorite episodes of that season. But like, I'm sorry, Manny. But in reference to like this season though, like I'm like
everybody's got their one.
This season. Everything has been so like fast paced, like breakneck speed. So I guess I understand what you're saying. And definitely, if you're talking about the runtime, I'm pissed off at that. Like that's definitely that's a good reason to be like, yo, like you said, 8 episodes, bro. It's got 20 minutes of a show. But like even outside of that though, I really did appreciate like Morgan brought up the idea that like, because some people were saying that the guys were like pirates that were attacking like the van the truck they were driving. Right. But I also appreciate the theory that they might just be people from that planet trying to stop the Republic from like you know what I mean, kind of like colonizing it. You know what I mean?
I made that like in the subtitles, like if you have the subtitles on, they call them pirates, and I'm like, what did the Empire write the subtitles? They're not doing any pirating. They are revolutionaries.
They're literally destroying the cargo. Right.
Before we get too far away, I just want to say Julia Jones was right there. Okay, I'm sorry. We're done. Okay, we can move on.
I got you. No, I mean, I think that's well said, and I'll echo that a little bit, Dustin. I mean, like, because I will say, like, I think that from like kind of like a textual standpoint, as far as like what the show, like the show wants to get into some more interesting territory. I think that this episode is like, more interesting than most. You know what I mean? Like but insofar as I think that still remains true though, Morgan. Like this didn't feel like a penultimate episode.
No.
Right, I feel you.
You know, like at the end, like the penultimate, and not to say that I need a carbon copy beat for beat season one formula, but like at the end of season one, or at the penultimate episode of season one, fucking Ugnaught Nick Nolte fucking got killed, and and we're just like, holy shit. Now I know they teed it up with the fucking Taken phone call. And fucking he called up Gus, and he was like, "Motherfucker, like I am coming for your shit."
I got a
like,
set of skills, big bro.
Exactly. Like, yeah, and so like even though and it was kind of you parroting his speech back. Which was cool, but I mean, like I don't know. I mean, like it felt like this. Maybe this should have been like episode 6. And then
I think that's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, like
somebody in the chat, I think it's Graham Taylor. So, like, would you have been better if this was episode 6 instead of 8? Yeah. Honestly,
maybe.
yes.
Yeah.
Your expectations aren't as high as they have to be.
Or if it was episode 7 out of 10, I would have been great. I love living in this world. I want more episodes. And it's like we only got 30 minutes, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I'll take I mean, and I don't quote the prequels that often, but again, I'm kind of a reformed prequel hater because you just appreciate the meme game of it, where it's just like you want to be like Obi-Wan, where it's like we're supposed to be going up, not down, like where he's talking about like because like insofar as like at least if we're gonna be doing like if we're gonna have like a limited 8. Because we saw what happened with those fucking like with some of those Marvel shows where it was just like this should have been 6 to 8 episodes or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said this before. Like I would rather be left wanting more. You know what I mean? But
I have opinions on that, so I'll let you finish your thought. But just
fair enough. But like I mean, like just some of the Marvel shows, not all of them. But sometimes I'm just like that. Where I'm just like this is. There's not enough meat on this bone, and I want more meat. I want more stuff. And I think my general thoughts were some of the best acting that this show has ever like put together, or at least like the most
by
mature.
Bill fucking Burr.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
And that being a plus kind of makes it a negative because I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Giancarlo Esposito. You, at this point, have been outacted by fucking Bill Burr.
Yeah. You know what? In this episode, or in the last episode, it was like he was in a fucking Geico commercial, like talking to Baby Yoda, being like, "Hey, you want this dark saber? You can save 15% on your car insurance." And you're like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
I would love that. Is him and Flo walk in together and shit like that?
I mean, Flo's a Sith Lord.
Flo is by far my least favorite commercial of all time. I wish all of the worst things to happen to
Objection. I'm sure there's way worse commercials.
Is the Geico Gecko a Yoda?
Yes.
I thought
Baby Geico.
I thought we established that he was Frog Husband.
He's the frog husband.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's Frog Husband. Right.
Maybe they're connected.
Maybe they are
He's
connected.
a distant cousin at least.
That's when I'm coming back to that Flo comment at some point. Maybe not today, maybe not this year, but at some point.
We're gonna throw down about it. I don't like her. No, but she is a Sith Lord. She's the worst.
We need to go.
I like them bad
meet
sometimes.
The actual actress, and we'll be like, "Oh man, she's so nice," and then you change your mind.
Because she's so mean. She's such a dick in those commercials. Like she fucking sucks. Like she's such an asshole. She's
trying to sell insurance.
She's supposed to be saving you money, and she's such a fucking she is the worst. Like she's so mean. Like she's absolutely mean. Like every time she's so condescending to people, and like she's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to fucking save you money, you piece of shit." And you're like, "Whoa!"
He's Team Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm's the fucking man. That dude, I'm talking to him at like 4 a.m. Like he's like, "Yeah, that dude rules. He'll go fishing with you." Like, what has Flo ever done for me? Nothing.
Okay.
Fuck you, Flo.
When you spend so much time trying to save other people.
I'm just appreciating the fact that we are having like
knockdown drag out fight.
Well, no.
about
I mean, like,
insurance
you know, like
I'm hurt right now.
It's like Mr. Drace goes to Washington, where he's just filibustering about why Flow sucks, like on this thing, and I'm here for it, and I appreciate that shit.
Sorry, we're talking about Star Wars. I apologize.
No, but like I think that insofar as what I want, I mean, like, no, at this point, dude, Flo is like a bigger and better villain than Moff Gideon.
Yeah, she's
Good save,
more
Sean. That was a
fleshed
great save.
out.
I mean,
That's a great save, Sean.
and again, not to besmirch Giancarlo, because I think that the guy is brilliant, and the guy, it's like, but at this point, because people kind of have hit me up where they're just like, you know, they're just like, why, you know, you rag on this a lot. It has been something that I haven't really been able to drop, especially in the last like 3 or 4 episodes. And again, I fucking apologize, but go fuck yourself. It's my fucking show. So what we're talking about is in the fact that like Gideon at this point entered the series at like the penultimate episode of season 1. So we've had like about, I'd say somewhere in the realm of about 4 to 5 hours of storytelling.
And that episode was great. He showed up with a bunch of like stormtroopers with like giant like Gatling guns, and like he kicked some ass in that episode.
And he sort of got like his sort of like kind of taxman like binder, kind of got his binder up. Like, I have everybody's rep sheet and I know everything and I'm very precise and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's character building. This guy's very precise. Whatever. Okay, awesome. And then, like, at the end of the last one, we find out he's got the Darksaber. How the fuck do you get the Darksaber? Right. I still don't have a single motherfucking clue about any motherfucking thing that is going on with this guy, other than, like, they're kind of doing some cloning stuff. They're kind of doing some whatever. I could use just a little more sprinkling, just a little more Moff in my muffin.
I think that Moff Gideon and Baby Yoda are directly proportional in that when we learn something about Moff Gideon, we will learn something about Grogu, and when we learn something, so I feel like their destinies are intertwined in that regard.
I guess so, but I mean,
Grogu got way more tidbits than Moff at this point,
true.
Because we got like a dump from Ahsoka, and then
big
Moff
dump,
didn't really get.
But then we're gonna get a dump from Moff this next episode.
I hope so. I hope we get something.
Better.
Let's take a Moff dump. I mean, like, let's have him just shitting on the toilet just for like a minute.
Just so
we can hang out with this guy.
But Ahsoka was a backdoor pilot, though, so that's a little different, though. Like, they set it up for a backdoor pilot, which gives it all the room to be like, give him a reason to watch it. Like, Moff Gideon is like, he's coming in just to like snarl his just to like snare his like nostrils. Like Dave Chappelle in the dice world dice.
Like this.
He's just there to like look like this and then say something Star Warsy.
Well, no, it would be fine if he was tracking more as like a Maul or a Phasma. Like, I'm here to crack heads and look cool and whatever. But it's Gus fucking Fring,
right?
And I think literally like the first half hour of A New Hope has more character development, dialogue, like literally like by the word, than in like 5 hours of storytelling that we've had with this show of like, this story is Darth Vader. I mean, like, what the fuck else would we call it?
But they gotta spread it out because he is the Darth Vader. Like, once you dethrone the Darth Vader, you can't do anything else. Well, I mean, you can, but you'd have to build in time to bake it in before that can replace it. You know what I mean?
This is a long form television storytelling. Like I need a little bit more, and they haven't given me fucking fuck all. So like,
I just want his motivation. Like, what's his philosophy on the world? Like, because they haven't even done that. Like, usually that's what
I know more about Richard Brake. I know more about Richard Brake than I do about Moff Gideon. He probably.
Oh my god! If we got that scene with Moff Gideon, like, or something like it, like, then I'd be like, okay, he's a villain and a character.
And I get to watch my boy act. I get to watch him. I just want the shit. Like, I'm sorry.
Are you guys? I don't know if you guys are following the chat, but like, I gotta say, Not Loud Parrot has a great like tin hat conspiracy.
Interesting.
Honestly,
no. If they pull that again, like, I'm happy to eat my words, but just insofar as like that better be there, because if it's not, then there's no fucking reason for them to have ever hired him at all.
It's like the great legendary Sith, master of the Force, Freddie Prinze Jr. once said, "There must always be balance in the Force." And so, with like Moff Gideon, with everything that he's like representing right now, that's obviously somebody he's answering to. And like, I think the next episode is probably going to set that up, like whether it's Admiral Thrawn is like related to that or some shit bigger than that. I feel like Moff Gideon is like, because like when we talk about him being like, yeah, like we set him up to be the big bad, but I think that's kind of a misdirect too, because like right now they like it just seems like the dark saber is like him and like Bo-Katan have to like go through that. You know what I mean? Obviously, like and like Mando is trying to get back the child or Grogu, if you will now. But like if you nasty, but like I just truly feel like he is just like a current thing, but I definitely think there's going to be a way more overarching issue that like is the person behind all of this shit.
I got you. I mean,
I think it would be nice if that is a thing. I just don't think. I think that we won't get any Thrawn because I think they're going to be saving that for Ahsoka. Like I think it's going to be a purpose deal.
Can we talk about all like the 800 million announcements that happened like this week during this episode?
Sure.
I mean, like that pretty much colors the show where we got Ahsoka and we got the mention of Thrawn. And we're like, oh, sick! Like they're going to set up Thrawn and Ahsoka in Mandalorian, and then we get the announcement, and you're like.
It was like a mini. Well, it was like it's almost like a mini spoiler within itself, kind of in a way, where I'm just like, okay, like I know that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they would be smart to do this. Would be to build up Thrawn as like the Thanos of the Mandalorian extended universe, the MEU, as I've been calling it, like insofar as like where he can kind of be at play or at work. Probably mainly in Ahsoka, but he can kind of be a force to be reckoned with within a couple of these fucking shows. Like there's like the Space Rangers show that's happening, and then Ahsoka, and then this show. I mean, I think that he's going to emerge as that, but he's probably going to play a probably the most direct role in Ahsoka. So like, but I think that you're absolutely right, D. Where it kind of like where you're like. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, cool. So then that means that he's probably going to go there, and we're probably going to keep Gideon, or at least the ticker of Gideon getting killed definitely went down about 50%.
Especially not in this season at all. Like that would be huge. Like what? Doesn't he have a whole stable that someone is waiting to like battle him for it? Like so I'm really excited and like nervous about what they can possibly do in the season finale to like really bring it all together.
I think that to bring it back, because I remember because y'all got off on it should have been earlier in the season thing, and I didn't get to get my thing in, so I just want to say real quick. I actually think that having Baby Yoda disappear and then get taken back the next episode would actually be like not very rewarding at all. So I'm glad they have things in between it to make it happen, because like I just don't like they did that last season, right? So we want more of a separation. We want more like that was kind of like a torment of the episode. Like Baby Yoda was there because he wasn't in every single shot, and we were like waiting for it. We were like, when, and that made him just as present as if he had actually showed up.
Is Baby Yoda like the dire wolves or like the dragons of Game of Thrones, where he's just too expensive?
Yeah,
he's just a puppet. He's just a puppet. How can it be expensive?
But it takes four people to operate that puppet.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, and all those 4 people have health insurance.
And they're all unions.
They got unions.
Oh my god! Here, let's get through a couple of super chats. We had some fun ones come in that I thought were pretty apropos. Shout out to Louis Books, one of the first ones. Such a great episode. I was expecting Prison Break, but they kind of subverted my expectations, which I think is fair. I love the arc that they gave Bill Burke's character and kind of group. Yeah, I mean, like, and that was the other thing. The show is about kind of again taking the real world kind of more blue collar common Howard Zinn's Star Wars universe, basically like the people's history of a Star Wars universe, essentially, of which I think it's interesting and is always the stuff that I'm very interested in, is in that kind of minutia of the world. And I think that's very well said. And just about like what Mando, we've been saying this the whole time, and they did it where they've been just teeing up like what Mando, just shifting Mando's priorities from being like a Mandalorian who never takes his fucking helmet off and is super fucking bad or whatever, taking him to like being like a father and like and like growing as like growing as like a man and like and all that type of stuff, and realizing that there are more. There's more important things, and there's more things that he cares about other than his Mandalorian-ness as necessary. So I think that yeah. So in that stripe, Louise, I thought that the show was fantastic in that degree, to that letter. Well, I think that's good. Who else do we got? What else do we got over here? April B. We had dude. Shout out to everybody. Let's just get through a couple before we move on to the next thing. Yeah. April B. Thank you so much. Let me pop this up here. Grabbing some.
Let's nerd
Grabbing
out.
some Moscato, courtesy of Ahsoka Wines and Lightsabers.
Hey.
Is that a thing? I hope it is.
I'm Googling it right now. Ahsoka
Oh my
Wines
God.
and Lightsabers.
Because if there is, I kind of need it.
Right? I'd be all about it. Oh,
Is it a white
Merchandising
one?
Everything else, so why not?
I
Right.
mean, if it's a thing, I'll get a targeted ad once the stream is over because my phone.
Now that we set it in front of our fucking phones.
Yeah,
Our little FBI men are just.
I will say
Alas,
this.
I don't think it is.
Oh.
Alas.
In terms of
It's a great joke, though.
Star Wars is canonically the start of all merchandising for film tie-ins. Like it is the epicenter of all toy tie-ins.
It invented toy conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It literally invented toy conventions.
So okay, so this episode in particular, like I have a couple friends that are way into they do Hasbro is making so much goddamn money. The Hasbro Dark series of Mandalorian toys is fucking nuts. Where Target has an exclusive and Walmart has an exclusive. So this episode alone, we saw 7 different stormtrooper types. We saw a sand trooper and you know that they're just money.
We went to fucking
Malibu
Baskin.
Stacy has a new hat
Exactly.
every week.
We went to Baskin Robbins and we were just like, all right, let's see all 31 flavors of fucking stormtroopers that you got, because there was a bunch of them.
There were
the tanker drivers and shit like that was fun, and all that shit was I liked
all the toy nerds are just hell yeah! I gotta get my stormtrooper army legit.
Oh my!
I gotta buy 3 copies, one in the package. One, it's just oh my god. Yeah,
Right?
I'm so sorry for you, Marcus, man. My buddies, our downstairs neighbors, way into it, and it's oof.
Well,
It
are
can
y'all
be a lot.
familiar? Are y'all familiar with Veers Watch?
No.
Veers Watch is my favorite Star Wars account on the internet, on the fucking HoloNet, bar none. Veers Watch is a I think they have a podcast. I'm not sure, but they are intent and dedicated on finding everything they can about General Veers. And this was a huge win for them because General Veers' armor is what they are wearing and dressed in.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I cannot tell you, because every single episode of The Mandalorian, every single sequel trilogy movie, every single episode of Rebels and the Clone Wars, every single time Veers Watch is saying Veers Watch : no Veers, period. Every single time. And we finally got something different. And I'm so happy. Godspeed, Veers Watch. I'm thinking about you every day, man.
They got a little Christmas present.
Well, and that's the General Veers Watch that ties in with with a couple of different franchises, because he plays he's in Empire Strikes Back. He plays just like an Imperial officer, and then he was the secret Nazi bad guy who gets the fucking life force sucked out of him and turns into a skeleton at the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And he played he was in Game of Thrones. He was
Night King.
No.
Oh, that's the other guy.
That's the other guy.
Right. No, but we'll get to him because I thought he was great. No, but he.
LOL. It was a joke, guys. I was just boofing. It was a parody. I was playing. Yeah, these jokes, y'all. These jokes.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
is Master Pycelle?
He was Master Pycelle. So
oh my
Master
God, he
Pycelle,
was!
yeah. So right.
Whoa.
So that's how he comes into it.
Man, the king of fear farts.
Him and Rudy Giuliani.
Him and Giuliani just blah blah.
He is a bit of a fucking Giuliani. Just
Pycelle was, yeah, absolutely.
doing all of the fucking crazy bullshit bidding for fucking Cersei. That totally.
But Veers is great because he'll tweet stuff like, "Don't talk to me or my son ever again."
Oh my god!
But then he'll tweet, "Don't talk to me or my son's son ever again."
Grandpa Beers, I'm into
Just
it.
the best. Just the absolute best.
Shout out to Cash Graphics, $4.99. Talking about Kevin. I'm assuming
Kevin
this
Smith.
is Kevin Smith
Yeah.
tweeted, "Never go Ahsoka to mouth."
No, goodbye. Goodbye.
I mean, like, of course he would. I mean,
Yeah.
like, that's like about that's about the most unsurprising thing that fucking Kevin Smith has ever written. Shout out to Patrick. Gideon seems set up as Bo's enemy more than Mando's. Do we think that Din Djarin will eventually inherit the dark saber somehow, if only because it's his show? I think that's a fair thing to I mean, that would be a fucking hella interesting turn. I mean, that would be a Game of Thronesy type of turn where two characters that I like and that I'm kind of rooting for kind of congruently. I mean,
so I'm gonna say no, actually.
Oh, you don't think it's gonna happen?
Well, I mean, I want them to team up together, but I don't want Mando to inherit the Darksaber at all, because number one, he's not a big fan of Jedi, and number two, the ruler of the Darksaber is the ruler of the Mandalorians. Like, that is canon. The person who wields the saber controls the Mandalorians. So Din Djarin wouldn't want to be that. It's Bo-Katan's number one by right, number two by birthright, number three, her sister died for that shit. So put some respect on her name. But But yeah, so like the person who it's like the Valyrian steel of the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see a situation where if the Darksaber is the only way to protect Grogu, like there could be a thing where they were at odds, just if anything that gets in the way of protecting Grogu, like Mandalorian.
But I don't think Bo-Katan will get in that way, because she relates to the baby. Like, they're not gonna she's a beloved character, and they'd have to do a lot and spend a lot more time with her in order for them to make
you think that
look, I'm gonna tell you, she was spelling like a pile of shit last time she was in the episode. She was making some real questionable decisions. She was trying to she was willing to sacrifice the child in order to get that sword. That bitch can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. Not that other B word, that queen. Yeah, bro. If her sister, R.I.P. Sorry to hear what happened. But if my man Din Djarin get the sword and he swinging that motherfucker through all the galaxies in every parsec, I'm with it all day. And tell Bo I said it. I'm sorry, Maddie. I'm sorry, but we gotta boss up here.
It's okay. You don't have to.
I never clocked that she had that.
Yeah, anti-hero vibes all through that.
I'm just like fanfic writing, like, oh, how do you get? Because that's actually interesting. Instead of just being like, here's some like ominous music, bad guys who we know were the bad guys.
Sure.
I find it more interesting when two characters you actually like, you're like, ah, shit, they both.
They're at odds, but you can still root for both of them, and that's where I'm at.
Exactly. Right. Well, here, what I think is what I think maybe what I think could happen is we could potentially have like a Finn and Rey type of a thing, where possibly, like he's gonna have to fight, like where I think that Din is gonna have to, he's got a fucking spear.
I would love for him to just be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I think it's something like that's going to happen, where he's going to fight it, where he's going to be fighting Gideon, and then possibly he gets his ass handed to. Because that was the other thing.
Weapons.
Maybe. I mean, it could happen, or like he gets handled
in the game level.
and he's like, no, take it and go fuck him up or something like that. That's something that I could see happening. Even though in this episode, another thing, like that whole big kind of that fight between all the guys, where it was basically just to show that he could fight with a melee weapon because he got a hold of that spear.
Exactly.
The spears that these guys had. I mean, that was basically what this scene was for, in my opinion. Not to say that it wasn't cool or whatever, but it was to establish that he can fight with like a staff.
That's
like
a great point.
Did you guys catch too, like when Mando ran out of ammo, like the music kind of dropped for a second too, which was kind of cool. I was like, man, all right, that's pretty sick.
For sure, absolutely. Well, let's we'll move on, because we got into a lot of. I mean, we got into Flo, we got into Gideon, but that was because
I'll never forgive you, Justin.
We got to work it out, and plus we only get to. This is our penultimate episode of Mando Mondays.
So that earlier, I woke up and I was like, Just
the
one
second
more
one.
way.
So we're going. So we're gonna be we're going hard, but keeping things moving on. Favorite scene of the episode. I would love to hear what Emil had to say about this. Emil, what was your favorite scene of this app?
I'll probably say my favorite part up top was easily the face reveal. I think that was a good one because it was just like they had already set it up in the beginning, and like it was like, all right. I was kind of mad that he had like a actual like pencil mustache and shit. I'm like, I wanted him to have a quarantine beard like your boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like other than that though, I was like, man, you know, Pedro Pascal got the Pedro Pascal. You know what I'm saying? He got the like actually face emote, and I was, you know, I felt a little. I saw a little Prince Oberyn in there. You know, and that made me happy.
Yeah, very Oberyn.
I was happy.
Well, I think I literally somebody linked. It's a really fun interview. I think that Vanity Fair did with Oscar Isaac and Pedro Pascal. Apparently, they're like really good buds.
Yeah, I've seen a couple before. Yeah,
and there's one part where he talks about he's like right next to Oscar, who has like one of the fucking most luscious, like great beards. Like he can, and apparently he was saying like look at this beard, and he was like how old is that beard? And he was like 6 days, and he looks like fucking Hemingway, like in in the 50s and shit. Like it's crazy, but like I think that he just kind of he's got like the he can only do the mustache, and it's kind of just not as filled in. So I think
like the actual actor can't grow it in.
He can't grow it in. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And so I think because everybody was like, "What's the deal with the fucking porn stash?" And nothing, because you're expecting a little bit more. But I think it's because like him himself, Pedro Pascal doesn't have that big of a beard, can't grow that big of a beard apparently. So that might be the reason.
I'm not upset. I'm not like, oh, it grinds my gears.
No, I know that. No, but like, we're nitpicking about his facial hair.
Yeah, fuck it. You know what I mean? I just wanted to, you know what I mean, with all that build up.
About his perfect appearance is the thing.
He was too perfect, Maddie. That's the problem. Yeah. Too perfect.
I'm with you.
100%.
I'm with you every time Pedro is in front of my face. I'm like, this is a problem for me personally.
Yeah, perfect specimen.
Yeah.
Maddie, favorite scene of the episode. What do you got for me, gal?
I really liked when, like, we've already played the clip of it, but when they were writing through and Bill Burr was explaining, like, you know, they don't understand, like, we're just as bad, like, it doesn't matter. And the way that little kid, like, who was sitting on the crate just like stared at him, and I was like, cool. But like the other reason that it was my favorite was because it again ties into the sequel trilogy in terms of like Canto Bight very specifically, and that whole plot line where the New Republic and the elite of the New Republic are making money by funding both sides of the war.
Right,
it's the little people who suffer. It's the people who have no control over their community and the people who have no control over their surroundings or their resources that are the ones who suffer while like pirates and the Imperial Remnant and like the New Republic are all like fighting over resources. Like they get left in the dust,
blowing shit up, and right, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that they spent some time to it. You know, I understand complaints that not enough time was given to it, but I still think it's like an important thing to at least start a discussion about.
Yeah,
I thought that little kid was a snitch though, man. Because I'm pretty sure he called his own. Like they coming by right now, big bro, slide on him. They slid on my man. It's his right. It's his right.
Yeah, he just tipped off the freedom fighters, and it's like he's just getting those people off his planet.
Right.
If he was a snitch, he'd be like, all right, come through. All right, guys are coming. Like, you know, he'd be more involved. But
right, for sure.
That would be brother in their way.
Drases, favorite scene of the episode. What do you guys got over there?
I mean, I gotta go with the like lunchroom talk.
Mess hall, yeah.
The mess hall talk.
Officer's mess.
Have ourselves a couple of fucking Michelobes over there. You know,
when he said, he's like, oh, you guys are the only ones that accomplished your mission, and he's like, come with me. I'm like, oh, he's taking them to Space Hooters. Like, we expected the titty bar. I don't know why.
Right. You know, we said that a little bit. We're going to Space Hooters. He's like, yeah, or he's like one of those guys. He's one of those weird guys that's like every single opportunity, and like anytime anything cool happens, he's like, "Oh, we got to go to the strip club, right? We got to go to the club." No,
And everyone's like, why?
And we're just like, no, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is my bachelor party. Like, if I was like, I'm not doing any of that stupid shit. Like, why the fuck do you care about it? But yeah,
I just feel like a strip club in like Star Wars would still be called parsecs for some reason. Like,
Oh my god.
parsecs.
Wait.
Parsecs.
With
Three
three.
X's.
Jizz Club. Jizz Club.
The Jizz Club.
Oh yeah.
Jizz Club.
With live jizz. With live
Yeah.
jizz.
Always live. Always
No.
live. It's literally moving.
Now it'd just be called Itchies, because Chewbacca's father-in-law would
He'd
be
run
running.
the
He'd be
place.
running some sort of weird sex.
He'd be
place.
running-
Oh, that's a good one. That is a great one.
That's the poll. We're always going back to the holiday special, especially at the end
Life
of the
day,
year.
life day, man.
Right, 100%. We'll just do a quick one for Matt Carper. Favorite scene was the throwback to the seismic charge.
Yeah.
100%. That was a great one.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was bam.
Yeah, the sound of it. I remember even in the theater when I saw episode 2, I remember like that was like the moment where Ben Burt, the sound designer, was just like, and this is why you pay me money. Like you understand? It was, even though, just in that sequence, that is like the thing that I remember most about that like whole sequence in that particular movie was the seismic charges and how cool they sounded. And to bring that back in, I don't know, as like the kind of like as the cherry on top of this episode, I thought was really fucking cool. So yeah, I'm definitely with that. Draces, or
What was
Dustin,
your
favorite
favorite?
thing?
I mean, it got a lot of attention too. Just Pedro's acting, where it seems really weird when you first kind of see him acting, but then you realize he's actually acting and actually feeling the way that you would feel if your whole identity is tied to having a mask on your head.
Yeah.
And suddenly feeling powerless and sort of speechless. And you can see his whole body language change.
Oh, big time.
When he puts the mask back on. And Bill Burr acknowledging that. And he's like, I didn't see nothing, bro. You're good.
Right.
You're good with me. We didn't see nothing over there.
It's like your friend cried after a breakup, and your him was like, "All right, G, what happened back there, G?" But like,
right.
we
Can we
cool.
never speak of this again?
And I love that the second that the gig was up, Bill looked away. Like, he did not look away
Right, exactly.
until the mission was satisfied, and then he was like, here, pick it up. But another thing that I really liked about that scene is that the whole time Pedro is still using his whole head as if he were in a helmet.
Yeah.
So
Super
he
rad.
he is still leading with his head. He's turning with his whole body. Like, he's ready for anything. When he looks down. He doesn't look down like this, like a normal person. He looks down like this, like he's wearing a helmet.
It's like he's still in Batman Begins. Like he's just like walking around like a fucking, like he looks like a robot. Yeah, 100%.
That was really cool, and it was definitely a detail that they spent a lot of time and thought on.
Or at least just Pedro did. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he just was like, I'm doing this and I'm committing to it.
I would, and also just like, I mean, he fucking has like a good amount of time to kind of mull over what he's gonna do, because he doesn't get to perform as much as I think that even we think that, because I think there's a lot of doubles. I think about, somebody said a good amount, at least maybe 75-80% of what we actually see is either like
there's the stunt guy and the weapons guy, and then everyone else is either a double or him. So
right, yeah, and so like and so it's like, and also he's just like, all right, I mean, like that is the thing, like I get like the top billing on like the fucking hottest show like on fucking TV, but like my mom doesn't know that he's in the show. You know what I mean? Like we do. You know what I'm saying? Like we like insofar as like getting some juice to like kind of for your career and shit like that. Not that I think that he's dissatisfied by any. Let's say, what do we got? King Sabertooth. Thank you so much, my friend. The Jedi that Baby Yoda reached out to might be his mom.
No way.
Whoa.
Maybe before she died, she asked the Mandalorian to keep it safe. That could be that totally.
If Yaddle shows up, I'll lose it.
That would be pretty sick if Yaddle showed up. I mean, like, because the thing was that Yaddle was kind of like a background player in episode 1. And Maddie, correct me if I'm wrong. Did they ever, in the rest of the movies or Clone Wars, did they ever pop Yaddle back?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. I'm gonna double check her appearance list.
Sure. But like, insofar as like, I think that was just like an early. George was on a lot of fucking, he was throwing a lot of ideas around, like when he was coming. Seriously. No, seriously. And like I think at that point, I mean, that was when we had like the weird young Yoda puppet too, who just like, now maybe the only time
in Fallen Order, and that's it.
Okay.
Like everything else is either adaptations of the Phantom Menace or like one or two one-off things.
Right. So insofar as like, yeah, I don't know how active, how much in Yaddle is like. If Yaddle had made like a Clone Wars appearance or something like that over the years, or a Rebels appearance, I would be like, yeah, maybe.
I feel like she is a lot like David and Dan's Star Wars trilogy, and that she was canceled quietly and never spoken of again.
Kind of, sort of, right? Yeah, canceled quietly. She said she has said some problematic things on Twitter and stuff.
Have you seen her hair?
Headed over to Parler.
Let somebody say it, man. She was not it. It's like Yoda. I know y'all the same species, so it's gonna be kind of an issue trying to agree with somebody else. But take a chance, dog. She was not it, man. I'm like, I know.
Look at these super chats, guys.
I know the super chats are real good.
They're going really good. Okay, Elaine Williams, Din's backstory isn't fully fleshed out. Do you think Din is from Naboo? Migs teased him from being a Gungan in season 1, and he sees his face. New Naboo ship in season 3. That would be
I would say yes, but I think that he's from the shots that we've seen are him from a desert planet.
It looks desertish,
and
yeah.
Naboo is a jungle planet, so
it's very wet. It's
Talk
very
that shit,
wet.
man. Talk that shit.
Right, so it's a wet ass planet.
yeah.
You always got one, G.
Well, it's wet. Well, I mean, like, because we made that on our trailer breakdown. We're just like, because Papa Palpy is from Naboo, the wet ass planet. You got a wet ass Palpy. I mean, he's getting it. We just found out that he's getting it wet. So like,
I don't think possible. Somebody in here is talking about like Yaddle and Palpatine being Grogu's parents.
No. I mean, Palpy would, but
right.
I feel like Yaddle has
I think it's Little Goat saying. I kept saying it's Sheevy and Yaddle's love child.
Yaddle has standards.
Baby Yoda, Grogu can't be a Palpatine until we see him do Force lightning. That's just canon.
Yeah.
That's just canon.
That's true. Right. That's true. And we got ourselves. Yeah, we got bring back Yaddle. I say nay. Nay.
If Yaddle shows up, I will do that. I will do that right now. You heard it here. Also, thank you for the person who said they like the girl with the blue hair. I like you too.
There we go.
Cool.
Also, half of me thanks you as well.
Yeah. Oh my god, guys, you see that I'm taking over Morgan?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're slowly.
I'm encroaching upon her. I like Dustin. I drive all the way up to Chicago. I break into your house, and every night when you're asleep, I lean over and I whisper into Morgan's ear, "Blue, blue, 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 blue."
I'm into
and
it.
then slowly.
Have you been reading my fan fiction?
I like that. It's like no, like the voice in my mailbox told my wife to dye her hair blue, and he told me to kill my mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Morgan is going to sleep with headphones on, listening to the sound of my voice, going, "Omelette du midi, omelette du midi, omelette du midi."
How do you know my life?
Oh my god, I love it.
Emil Arkley watches.
Shout out to Gabe Stoudemeyer. Shout out to Stouts. Anyone else get Vietnam War vibes from the planet?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Well, I mean, like, Sean, you called it during our reaction. The shout out. This is not Vietnam, but it was the Wages of Fear.
Yeah,
It's like straight up.
100%. Yeah, it was, and like it was very. It struck me because I love that movie. I love that there's also a sequel to that, or not a sequel, but it's like a remake. It's based on the same book called Sorcerer.
Yeah, exactly. My boy, good call.
Awesome. That was and it's an awesome movie. And interestingly enough, Sorcerer came out. This is another little tidbit. This is all the stupid fucking movie trivia that lives in my.
I figured you would bring that up, man. That's why you didn't say it by now.
Yeah. Right, for sure. Like, so that's a great, like, Wages of Fear, awesome movie. It's exactly the same type of concept. It's just kind of, it's drawn out over a full movie and shit. Same thing with Sorcerer. Sorcerer, though, was released in May of 1977, and it was, it's William Friedkin. He's coming off of The French Connection, and The fucking Exorcist. Like this guy has like knocked out 2 grand slams, like out of the park, right? And they queue him up with like this remake of Wages of Fear, and it's basically just as good, but that movie had no shot of ever being a success because it was released the same weekend as a little movie called Star Wars.
Oh man,
Oh.
Which is kind of wild.
That's
like,
amazing.
Now, which is kind of wild that it's not right. So like,
Right.
I mean, like they like because Star Wars, it was obviously it was like the first Endgame. Like it just swallowed up everything for within a country mile of it. So that was why. But go check out both of those movies. They're both fucking amazing. So yeah,
somebody's saying it's on HBO Max right now. So
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude, no, absolutely. Go get into it and go check it out. Episode MVP, one of my favorite things. I always love hearing what everybody's got to say about this. Emil, your most valuable player, your MVP of the episode. What you got?
Originally it was the guy who was holding his like lunch tray right before Bill Burr shot him.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Because he was just chilling.
Wanted lunch.
But now that we know that there's a more like powerful evil force that played behind the scenes, it's Flo from fucking Intro. That's right, Dusty. That's right. Put some respect on her name.
Nope.
It's like the dark side allows many pathways to abilities. Some would consider you to save 15%.
You gotta bundle your insurance. Damn it, Dustin.
Not doing it.
You gotta.
But yeah, it's one of those two. But y'all can choose whichever one makes Dustin more comfortable.
Flo is all the Sith, but
Yeah.
Dustin is all the geckos.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm with that. Maddie, do you have it? Who's your MVP of the episode?
My MVP is I had an answer for this, so give me a second. I gotta remember it. I think my MVP is the person who's like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's just say they're like this random group of pirates and then like also civilians and they're not related and we'll make them not related because one will definitely be aliens. And it's like,
oh.
you're not gonna do anything to explain that? Okay, bold move.
Is
Bold
that your
move
MVP?
time. Let's see.
Well,
how
I mean, we
it
can just
plays
like
out.
write what it is in our heads. I'm like, oh, they're friends of the
Yeah.
villagers.
Yeah.
And
Right? Maybe. I mean, like,
or the villagers got together their money and hired them.
That's true. I also
like,
want to say my MVP is also the person who wrote this episode and was like, yes, we are going to give the people a bunch of Pedro because MVP.
Oh yeah,
It's the director.
Yeah.
It's Rick, yes. And he's the one that also directed the last episode with Bill Burr, weirdly enough.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
damn.
he's got a Bill Burr thing. Yeah, it was Rick Famuyiwa.
Famuyiwa.
And he was. Yeah, I mean, like apparently he's got a fucking Bill Burr pact. He's got a writer. It's like I want only brown M&Ms, only brown M&Ms, and I need Bill Burr in my fucking episode, and that's the two fucking things. Which I mean, honestly, like Bill Burr, like kind of like it is certainly. Well, I'll get to mine, but anyway, Draces.
Bill Burr has had a really. I don't know if you got. Well, we did a review of King of Staten Island. Where Bill Burr gets to get it on with Marissa Tomei. So he's had a good year.
He's doing great.
Bill Burr's doing all right.
He did that. He did that. He hosted fucking SNL. Like, I mean, he's having like, he's having a decent 2020. Like, which is like, again, anyone that can pull out a couple of W's in 2020, I'm like, go for it, y'all.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you.
MVP, Draces, what do you got over there for an MVP?
Richard Brake.
Yeah.
Richard Brake, yeah.
I very rarely in Star Wars am ever scared by a villain. Like, straight up, I can't think of like, I'm like, oh, I don't like that guy. Oh, this guy's ominous. But I'm not scared. Like, I'm never scared by a guy. But like, his performance, he was scary.
Well, they gave him time.
And I'm sad he's dead.
Like, he drank all the Kool-Aid. Like, all of it.
Yeah.
Like, he guzzled that shit.
He really
was
did.
fucking great.
Had to.
So, like, he was terrifying, and I'm like, in a Star Wars, I am just never scared. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, and I think that it was because it was the like again, like it, like I said this in our review, like where it's like it wasn't, you know, necessarily acting to the level of like fucking De Niro and Pacino in Heat, but insofar as this show, it was like because it was, it was basically like it was just like a tense, mature, like it was two actors trying to win the scene. Kind of in a way, like where it's like they're trying to kind of get one over on him, and it's way more subtle than most of the material that they.
And Bill Burr, good lord, like his slow escalation.
Right. They were like, "Stop it, buddy! Not the time. Stop it."
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know he had it in him. I mean, he was good in King of Staten Island, but he was just basically playing like a dirtbag fireman. He was just basically playing himself.
Right.
Yeah, you know, kind of.
But has that guy ever played a good guy though? The one who Bill Burr shot. Has he ever been a good guy? Because I was because like because he was in Kingsman, and technically he was working with the Kingsman, but he was playing a villainous role in that aspect because he was like he had to kind of like pressure the kids to reveal who the Kingsmen were. So he technically was good, but was doing evil shit.
But what's crazy is all the folks that I know that have met him in like the convention circuit say he's like the nicest dude imaginable.
They always are. They always are.
And like, but he's definitely part of that whole like Rob Zombie like circuit.
Hellbilly Deluxe,
and
baby.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean like because I mean he has. You talk about like credentials as far as just like bad guy credentials, Morgan. Like insofar as like this guy was Joe Chill. He's like, yeah, fucking killed fucking Bruce the Waynes.
Joe Chill had no chill,
Mark
man.
Wayne in the fucking face. I don't give a shit.
Right. He's like, yo, like the first like couple of times that you ever saw the Night King in Game of Thrones, and I fucking murk all these fucking wild.
I'll shoot Jon Snow in the fucking face. I don't give a
If he had a gun, he would.
I don't know. He like, and on top of that, I'm like a Rob Zombie regular, which like kind of just gets you there anyway. You know what I mean? So like, I think that it was a very 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 he was great, and again like. That's kind of what we're talking about, like where Moff Gideon like has been outacted by Bill Burr and Richard Brake. Like that's a fucking problem, and that's why I want a little bit more fucking material.
You're right. Bill Burr is a fucking problem in these streets. So put some respect on his name.
Oh my god. Secret MVP Ben Burtt for creating like that was kind of what I said before. I like that low key MVP was the seismic charge sound effect, which was like it was iconic in its own way.
It was adorable.
Space Boston shoots Empire. Good old boy.
I was gonna say Boston. Boston made a great appearance in this episode.
Yeah,
Space Boston.
Space Boston.
Space Boston fucking carried it out for you. But it was like he was definitely was this one of the first times that we've seen a non-English Empire guy?
Yeah, because I wonder if that's what scares me more is like it feels like the scariness that I encounter at home. Like a scary American, he had that like good old boy hillbilly. Hellbilly.
It wasn't like English. Wait, it wasn't a heavy Southern drawl though, but I do get what you're saying.
But it was under there. Like it was
right.
But he was definitely Americanized accent. Like it was an American accent. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm wondering if that's why it scared me more than these like, I'm a space Nazi from England.
Exactly.
Yo, that shit was like, it kind of reminded me of that scene. Reminded me of like Inglourious Bastards a little bit. Like,
yeah, like when he's like have the cream or whatever.
Or exactly. Dessert. And like he did 3 or whatever with his hands and shit. Yeah, like that was just, like it was so tense because of like Mando was like.
Yeah. Right. You're like, don't do it. I know that you're getting a big old fucking murder boner over there because this dude like apparently is like is bad fucking news or whatever. But we'll throw another one for Patrick for supposed pirates, and we're taking anything, and that kind of goes to our point before is that like
they're revolutionaries.
Exactly.
Well, no, it's the same. It's the same thing that happens a lot when there's like tankers out at sea. And it's like these pirates like rolled up on this one ship, and that's why they'll literally hire out like mercenaries to protect these guys, and they are merciless when it comes to like going after. And we don't know if they're necessarily, they could be trying to fucking rob something. They could also be, kind of like freedom fighting for people that are encroaching on their land, their resources.
This kind of goes into my Easter eggs, but in the concept art at the end, we
Right.
have a little concept art of Poe Dameron as one of the pirates. And
Let's fucking hear.
Yo, what?
Let's bring
if-
that
Oh,
up.
that would have been like shorthand to tell us, oh, they're spice runners?
or maybe they're revolutionaries or something.
Well,
I don't know. Like,
didn't we-
Or wait,
yeah.
is this...
But no, they were just using the skiff. That's just a type of
Yeah,
skiff. That's
but
not
like
Poe Dameron.
but that's what they were using when they were coming up on that. So like they showed
Yeah.
that. So,
Oh,
Right. I just thought, well,
Right.
and also, I mean, like that kind of because this is before the sequel trilogy. I mean, it's a little bit before, but like in the Rise of Skywalker, like they do talk about how he was like a former runner of like, and kind of more a former, he was more of a scoundrel before he joined the fucking, before he joined the Resistance. So that they were probably just having some fun. I know that if I had any fucking artistic like talent at all, which I do not, I would be putting weird faces like into all different types of shit that I was drawing in the back. You know what I mean? Like I'd be putting all this stuff, or I'd be like our good friend. I think he's been in the chat. What was it? Alex Cruz, aka Cal Hagrid. Like that guy, like he is like super bad in real life. You need a fucking penis, like a fun cartoon penis drawn. That's the man to call. Like
I was like, where are you going
I'm
with
like,
this?
I was wondering.
You need a penis.
We're like,
no.
wait,
like,
what?
Like I am not.
That's our friend, Sean. What are you?
No,
talking
I'm not outing anyone. I've never seen a
You
penis
need a
drawn
fun
more
penis. You talked to our buddy Alex.
Goddamn right, man. Absolutely. Like a fucking like, but no.
Co-signed, I fucking guess. I
He
don't know.
can draw a cute
Right.
cartoon.
He said what he said.
Oh my God. Let's give it a pit real quick. We'll just rock this pitch. Spin-off with Bill Burr and Pete Davidson, where Miggs learns to get along with his strange Felucian stepson. I mean,
Played by Pete Davis.
Yeah.
Pete
Why
Davidson.
not?
Yeah.
Pete
No,
Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Whatever his
Davidson
weird...
already looked-
That's a
already
nice
looked-
Pierre LaFritz shout out, Uzair. Yes. 100%. Yes.
He already looks like a creature from Star Wars. You don't even need to spend money on the makeup and shit like that. Just get him in there, just like and I think that he'd be great. I mean, like at this.
Well, funnily enough, it takes 4 people to operate him. So he's a bit expensive, but if you can get him.
He's so edgy. He's got tattoos and stuff.
Oh my God.
I'm
He
so
can
fucking mad at
Pete
you
Davidson
right
should be a
now.
gun easily.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
He should be a fucking gun.
I'd be with that for sure. All right, moving right along. We got ourselves our McClunky moment of the week. A moment in the show that we maybe would have changed, that we would have liked to see expanded, that we would have pulled a George Lucas and maybe done another once over and changed for ourselves. Maddie, let's let you lead this one. McClunky moment of the week. What you got?
Are you
for
sure
me?
about that?
Yeah.
I might about to be starting a fight.
What you
Okay.
got?
Okay, so I will read a text message that I received from Uzair that I agree entirely with, which
Okay.
is, can we talk about Star Wars and redeeming white men all the time? Because
Ooh, interesting.
Okay.
I do agree. Like Bill Burr is Bill Burr, whatever. I have opinions on him. They're not relevant to Star Wars. But like,
Sure.
out of all the people that we can choose to redeem, yeah, sure. Bill Burr's like, he pulled it off. But like another white man Star Wars, like really, like another
For sure.
one, like another one, and also we finally had Karen Dune and Fennec Chan hanging out. And they didn't fucking say a word to each other. All they talked about were dudes. I don't even think they passed the Bechdel test.
I thought they did because I thought they were talking about the mission. Because they were like, oh, we need to shoot. They do move on and talk about dudes, but like the start of it, because I remember in our reaction, I'm like, oh, it passes the Bechdel test. Because they were talking about shooting or like their
Which
mission.
like, all right, like I'm gonna cover the guys on the gunner.
I'm gonna do this and you're gonna do that. Which I guess, and people were like, well, like they were talking about shooting guys. So I'm like, okay, if we're gonna nitpick, yes, but we don't know that those.
Morgan, the personification of death, is a man. So
I know we don't know if those stormtroopers are even men. We don't know. Like, so I'm just like, they're talking about a project that they were doing together. So I feel like it.
And I just wanted more, because I
Yes.
was waiting. I was like, and cool, like, and I wanted, like, I understand why they were like held back, but I just wanted them to do more. Like, those were 2 badass ladies, and all they're gonna do is like cover your 6. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Sure.
they were kind of just literally sideline. Like, they were literally on a sideline.
And I was
but-
just like, I just want to see Ming-Na Wen do cool shit.
Right, that's true.
So
Yeah,
She did cool shit in the last episode, though.
yeah. And
I mean, everybody. I mean, yeah, and that was the other thing because, like, that was the other thing is like a little bit like a lack of Boba Fett doing much. I mean, other than the seismic charge or whatever it is, like, because I'm like, we just got him back, and I'm just like, I just want to pick this dude's brain. So, like, yeah, so a lot of people got kind of brushed over a little bit. Like,
and I also want to shout out the super chat real quick.
Sure.
Sabretooth. McClunky, anybody with a face can access Imperial computer systems.
I thought that too. It's like you got like a USB drive, and you can get whatever you want.
Do you have to be a human face, or can it be any type of face?
I'm guessing mostly just a human because the Empire is very xenophobic in that way. That's what makes Thrawn kind of interesting and very unique. Is in like he's like one of the only aliens to ever ascend like the hierarchy of the Empire. That was like a little weird, where it's just like, well, no, basically, so like, unless you have a record, any fucking Joe Schmo can come over there, and like, as long as you have like the USB drive and you're not in the system, you can get access to anything.
Seems like a bad system. Am I wrong?
No, it's a terrible system. Like it doesn't make sense, but as Freddie Prinze Jr. said, Star Wars is for fucking kids. Like we needed to get this thing. We needed to get Mando's helmet off. We needed to see that beautiful mustachioed face, and they needed to figure out a way to do that. And so they figured out a way. We found a way to see that beautiful fuckable fucking face of his. Like the so yeah, I that one didn't really clock for me at all. I mean, like insofar as like, hey, we got to do what we got to do to get this thing rolling. You know what I mean?
I feel with that. I feel that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, I think that's fair. Any other McClunky moments, Maddie?
Yeah, no, mostly I was just like, man, Bill Burr, you're doing great, but like, why's it gotta be Bill Burr? That's how I feel.
Right, or like it could have, even though that was like that actually will tie in a little bit to like among my favorite Easter eggs, which we'll get into in a second. But McClunky moment of the week for Emil, what are you thinking over there, babe?
I didn't really have one up top, but King Sabretooth had a really good one where I'm like, damn, that is a good point. But like, just because it's your boy and I gotta stay on brand, not enough black people.
Yes, precisely.
And like they totally could have. There's no reason.
That was that one black dude who was overly clapping. I'm like, get that nigga a line.
Get him like where he has to have a SAG card so he gets paid more money.
You know what I mean? Like, just anything.
Get him SAG card.
That's all. But like, other than that, maybe some no Grogu, but no real complaints. I was just like, Star Wars got a Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars gonna Star
How
Wars
did we feel about the TPS report thing? I
hated it.
I was not into it.
But wasn't it like a callback?
No, it's like Office Space.
It's an Office Space.
It's an Office Space joke in Star Wars, which I'm like,
I was like, nah.
Haha, I get it, but that's not. No,
but then, like,
what are they
gonna do? Are they gonna take out like Richard Brake and they're gonna get like a bat and shit? And it's like, die, motherfucker! Like, or
I would have been super down for that scene, though.
I mean, it would have been, but it's like it was the most kind of like, I don't know. It was the most like kind of not marvelly, but where they're just like, we're going for ourselves a big old fucking like a big old lap, and that
like,
you know what I mean? Like, it was for a show that I think knows how to stack in a tasteful in ways that kind of make sense, like it's comedy beats in very interesting and just kind of very kind of, I think, simple and elegant ways. It stuck out like a fucking sore thumb. Like, it was very weird. Like, or even if they could have even done like a TKS reports, because like, what's your TK number? Like, or whatever.
If they said TKS, that would have been funny.
Yeah, or they're like, you always forget your TKS reports, and it's I think that could be a joke if it's not just you can't just stick TPS report in a show.
Yeah.
Or we do gotta send the fucking homie from oh god damn it, what's his name? He's in Scrubs and stuff like that. I can't remember. He's like the mean doctor in Scrubs, but he's also in Office Space.
Right.
And they're interviewing Moff Gideon, and he'd just be like, "So what would you say you do here?" Like,
Honestly, the Empire could do for a an efficiency expert or officer, because they really have a lot of redundancy.
Well, you know, Moff Gideon fucked her.
And he also played the father in the Brady Bunch movie too. So put some respect on his name.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. The Empire is no stranger to trash infrastructure. Yeah,
It's true.
I think that. Yeah, and also like they are kind of in like this big sort of weird. As much as Richard Brakelow was like talking shit and be like, the new Republic is in disarray and we're going to become back. Like this guy's sitting, the Empire just took like one of the biggest hits. They got beat by a bunch of fucking teddy bears, like on like the Forest Moon and shit. Like they don't have a pot to piss in as far as that shit.
Beat by a teddy bear. How you gonna have room to talk?
Right, exactly. Yeah, they're still fucking screaming about certifying the election results and shit like that. Like they've been
No
taking
more. It's over. Today was electoral college day. It's over.
I love it. Like, and that's that's pretty great. I mean, like again, thanks a lot, Donald. I am tired of winning. You're gonna be so tired of winning. No, but shout out to Connie. I hope that we get more than just side eye from Fennec. I love Ming-Na Wen, but she did enough of that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's got more to offer.
Yeah.
That completely goes to your fucking point, Maddie, and I think that that's very well said. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that, honestly, so they just road tested just a couple of people talking. Like they've done it a couple of other times, but everybody was saying that was like a standout episode. Like even like a character that we weren't particularly interested in, maybe even from an actor that we weren't particularly interested, but they made it captivating and interesting. I think like I would tack on an extra 10 minutes and just give me a few more scenes.
I would want more Bo. I would want more Bo and Fennec. I want to understand their dynamic. Yeah. Are they fucking? Are they dating? Are they hanging? Are they homies? Like I need to know. The people want to know them to make their fanfiction more accurate.
Somebody even said it. Is that why he polished up his armor to look good for Ming-Na Wen? He's like, I got this new hot piece. I got to look good in my armor.
Well, the Mandalorian remember their helmet is their face, like that is how they feel. So their armor is their body, right? So it's like if Amanda like shows up and like his armor is battle hardened, like I mean you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, like how dare he not fix this in the middle of the firefight? But if he's got some downtime, it's basically the equivalent of like saying I'm gonna take a shower and make my bed and do 3 things on my list today, like. Taking care of your armor is like taking care of your body and your soul.
Like washing your butt.
Literally, yeah. And
no matter how sad you are, you have to wash your butt cheeks.
Because you heard it here first, people.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
And I know it's hard.
Is the heart of it's like the Mandalorian soul incarnate. So like not taking care of it means you're not taking care of your soul. And that is equally as important as washing your butt.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, no, that goes to fucking to the line. It's not necessarily my McClunky. It's not my. Maybe it's my McClunky moment, but it was a moment that kind of that definitely got me thinking, because that was the other thing. It's like this they've kind of been expanding the thing. So when Bill Burr, when Miggs and them were getting on, when they were putting on. Are you okay over there? What happened? Okay, cool. No, when Mayfield and them were putting
the wrong way.
Oh, you're good. Oh, dude, isn't that the fucking worst? Like did it come back out your nose a little bit?
No, no, but that did happen to me last week, and it was horrible.
That's what I do. That's what I do sometimes. That's just a bummer. No, but but like, so when they're putting on their helmet, like. And they're putting on like the stormtrooper like fatigues, like because they're going undercover. He's like, man, this guy's stuff reeks.
It's still the gloves are still wet.
Gloves are still wet. And then that got me thinking, like, what's the shower situation in Star Wars? What's the bathing situation?
You did catch them in the middle of a long ass shift on a hot day.
No. I agree, but like that just kind of made me think about like because we have Jedi Knights. Knights famously would not bathe unless they could literally just like walk into a river and hopefully wash, get a little rinse going or whatever it is. But like,
I feel like Maddie has all the like logistics of stormtrooper.
The cosplay stank.
I do.
Do they take showers? Like,
They do?
do they have like weird like BO Roombas that just kind of little robots?
Yes.
That just go all over
So do you want the skinny on space hygiene?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, water, rare resource. Water is used for way more important shit. There are only so many water planets, and they need the
Like
water.
Tank Girl.
So
Okay.
what they do is they use these things called sonic freshers. So showers are not called showers; they're called freshers. And like the bathroom is the fresher. It's the fresher. You go when you get fresh. It's the fresher. So, but basically, because you're on spaceships, you know, you can't have water. Like there's like a whole water recyclation system that needs to happen, and it's just a waste of time to use that on bathing because they have the technology to have what's called a sonic fresher, which is sound and like noise waves. Basically, they use air, compressed air, and like sound waves to clean your body. So sonic freshers, you stand in like the middle of this thing, and then there's a ring, and it just goes boom, boom, like a car wash, and you're clean.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I want one.
So like the officers, like the super high officers, will have water because it's a luxury. It's like a very
all right.
Let's just say that
Just
sounds fresh as hell.
Just like you only get
Trademark.
That was great. Just like you only get like a personal room if you're like an officer, like otherwise it's just barracks all day. So like once you get the room, you're like, okay, cool, I have the room. I have my own fresher. I don't have to shower with the boys. But then above that, you're like, oh, I have a nicer room and I have water, which is crazy because that's not like a very common resource.
If you like yell at somebody and like get the dirt off, like, bro, and it's like,
maybe if you were a Black Canary, you could probably do that.
If I yell at one armpit, like condense, can like that one armpit like get cleaner, you know?
Yeah, actually.
I know.
The physics work out, maybe not, like well for you personally, but they do work out. So
we can try it later. I'll just scream into your butt.
That's right.
Somebody gotta do it.
Again, have you been reading my diary? What is happening today? You guys are just hitting. It's Christmas already? What's going on here?
We're checking every box for Dr. Drace over there. I'm here, and I'm fucking here for it. I love it. It's like no Bacta showers and stuff like that. I mean,
Bacta's way too. Bacta is like Neosporin, penicillin, like all. It's like whatever's in the COVID vaccine. Like you don't waste that. You don't waste it. That's why it's in the tank.
Shout out to April B. $4.99. Do space people use washcloths and wash their legs? Because some Earth folks don't. And she's talking about AKA a lot of white people. Like it's so far.
It's true. All of it.
What's the washcloth thing? Like what's going on? Yeah. Again, like because I was thinking because that would be a really creepy. And I'm sure somebody's fucking jerking off to it on the internet or something like where it's just like a little Roomba like robot like kind of going around and cleaning off your pits and stuff like that, which would be weird. But this is way more appealing, Maddie. So I'm glad that I can exercise that whole thought from my head. I'm with that. Again, thank you so much, April, for all, and thank you to all the super chats. I know that we're gonna
Did you just invent like a sex Roomba?
It's a clean Roomba, but like it could be used for sex stuff.
Everything can be used for sex stuff if you try hard enough.
No, I mean like that's the thing. Like anything that is kind of like just not super duper boilerplate, like whatever. Somebody's jerking off to it. Like I mean, if the internet has taught us anything, like it's taught us that. I like Wookiees don't do shower baths unless you want your arm ripped off.
Yeah, how are Wookiees not just one giant dread?
I think Wookiees are like sloths.
Oh, okay.
Because sloths will grow they'll grow like moss on their hair. Like they just do not bathe. Sloths just chill.
For sure. I mean, like and it's like just going into like my McClunky moment of the week, and we're gonna do like a little dual thing because I would say I just wanted a little more. I wanted a little more Moff Gideon. I'm always gonna want a little more Moff Gideon. That's probably my biggest fucking concern. But shout out because Morgan talked about it. I can't remember why, but you called him. Old fucking Captain Mothballs over there.
Mothball.
And shout out to let me fucking pull this. Let me just pull this up. I gotta make sure that I give credit because I don't want to not
give credit where it's due.
You gotta give it where it's due, baby. You can't be fucking like shouting out shit and not fucking doing it. Oh, shout out! Wait, so follow Solar Chicken 2. Solar Chicken 2.
Not Solar Chicken 1.
The Solar
All three, bro. All three.
You go straight
three's
trash.
Yeah, that 3 sucks.
Straight trash.
I met them. They suck. Horrible
well,
artwork.
It's Star Wars, so most of the time the third one's the shittiest one. But we're talking about we had ourselves old-fashioned mothballs.
I still can't believe somebody took the time to do this.
Oh, look at that! Like they did it from your bit, and and kills Mandalorians in airtight containers and storage. But I mean, so shout out to Solar Chicken. Go follow them on Instagram.
Yeah,
but like insofar as I mean, yeah, he does need mothballs because he's just sitting in this thing.
He's been locked away on the spaceship, just glaring into the camera.
He didn't say a fucking word.
Nope.
So like he's not doing anything except for listening to a fucking voicemail, which is like great, awesome, riveting shit, Moff. Like get the fuck, like go fucking fuck yourself. Like, but insofar as like I just want more from this guy. Like again, to Maddie's point earlier, and to some other people, like I hope that because they've been building up this moment, like this moment where we kind of have to kind of get called on the carpet by Moff. Like, I hope that there's a lot packed into that rubber band snaps back just as far the other way. Because
I'm like 80-20 on you being satisfied next week.
As in like 80-20, I will be.
Yeah.
Like 80, I will be. So I'm getting a B as far as satisfaction.
Mm-hmm. I think 80% of the time. I think that you have up to 80% chance
to do it. I got you.
Of being satisfied. Like,
I wouldn't doubt that either. I've just kind of
because not hoping for it.
Well, no, not that I'm not hoping. I'm definitely hoping for it. I mean, like, it's just insofar as like. If they pack it all in and it's to this really awesome kind of dramatic effect, I think that I'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah, totally. I see what you're doing, and I was wrong, like I usually fucking am.
And I've done that before. I've done that so much.
No, this is Star Wars. All we do is make up dumb bullshit like on the internet before this stuff comes out. You know what I mean? Like,
so does Star Wars, so it's fine.
So I'm totally, but that would have been my McClunky moment for the week, even though it's like, it's not that bad. And again, like it remains to be seen. It's like poetry, Easter eggs. It rhymes. What was your favorite?
I got to start this off.
Please, Justin,
I love the moment when Bill Burr and Mando deliver the cargo and they come in and they're greeted by all of the Imperials and they're all like, oh, yeah, they're all cheering. It was like, straight up like the X-Wing pilots returning from the run, like on the rebellion side. It was like, I loved it. It was such a good moment to see this like opposite end of it.
To flip it.
Yeah. I really thought that was cool.
Well, because it was basically like, yeah, we were, and they even like Mayfield literally says, he goes like, I've never been happy to see TIE fighters. And honestly, for the most part, neither have people that have watched the Star Wars before. And so they were definitely, you could tell like it was all about thinking about whose side you're rooting for and what that side actually fucking does and stuff. And that played into that. I think that was very pointed and on the mark so far as that goes, Dustin. So I think I'd agree with you. 100%.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Mo?
With that one. I'm gonna co-sign his because I'm actually famously don't know shit about Star Wars. So like the Easter egg one, I always have to kind of be like, I don't know. I agree with you guys because I can't like, oh, that thing. So
right.
I'm gonna agree. I also, because I don't know anything about Star Wars, even I recognize that as a opposite day thing. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
As a Freaky Friday.
A Freaky Friday, opposite day.
I'm with that for sure. Emil, what do you think? What was your favorite kind of callback that you thought?
I liked because I do enjoy some of the. I'm not really a big fan of the expanded universe of Star Wars, but I do enjoy some of the comic entries and stuff. Sure. And so, like in the previous episode with like Mando, with Boba, like showing like his like Mando code and stuff and his armor. When they showed his like sigil, he had one on this side and the other one was given to him by I think Jaster Morcell, and I thought that was pretty cool. That was a guy in the comics who actually like dubs him an official Mandalorian. Nice. So like just that slight little like tidbit was kind of a connection to the previous episode. I thought I was like, all right, that's sweet.
Hell yeah. I mean, like,
That's cool.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, we were like shocked. We're like, wow.
I mean, like the show, I mean, I think the coolest thing about it is the fact that like it always kind of seems like, you know, and sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes I think it works to good effect, but like where this show specifically is just like, let's really fucking like, you know, if you're a fucking Knights of the Old Republic fucking fan, they got a little something for you. If you fuck with the fucking comics, they got something for you. If you fuck with the Filoniverse, they absolutely got something for you. I mean, like, so that's, you know, if you're prequels, if you're into prequels, OT sequels, they kind of are always about servicing that. So I think that they've been very judicious.
They even fan service the holiday special, which is the only thing I can actually speak with authority on. Like when it comes to Star Wars universe, like I can go into like Itchy and Lumpy and like their whole deal, but it's like it's the only thing, but nobody ever talks about it. So I appreciate that the Mandalorian, they stick a little bit of holiday special in there.
Oh yeah,
like I think in the first season it was like
they
something
mention Life
Day. Yeah, that's always fun. That's always fun. That's always fun.
Well, I mean, I think that Favreau and Filoni, both of them, are great at just being like saying yes to Star Wars, warts and all, because it's a big sandbox, and they're just like, no, everything's cool. We're gonna make Life Day. We're gonna do holiday special, all that type of shit. So I think that's you're right on the money with that, Maddie. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Easter egg.
I got two. Count them two.
I got fucking two for you right over here.
Yeah. So my first one is I was so excited to see the seismic charges from Attack the Clones come back.
Shit.
So I was so happy. I was like, yeah! And they were so cool, and the sound design was great. I was just very here for it. Yes.
Yeah, it was real. Again, it was like you just even if you'd only seen episode 2 once, you were just like, that shit. I know that shit, and that shit is fucking badass. You know?
Yes, exactly.
Sure.
And my other sorry, not McClunky moment, Easter egg. My other Easter egg, my actual Easter egg is I wanted to like nerd out for a little bit on Tanab is great, you know, whatever people are going to talk about Tanab. Yeah, Lando was there. Yeah, something happened, whatever. But
Tanab, wait, what's that?
Tanab. So when he's like, yeah, brown eyes, you know, he lost his hearing when his vessel depressurized on Tanab.
Okay.
That's a callback to ESB when Lando's like, yeah, you should have seen the maneuver I pulled at Tanab, like.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
There you go. There's that one, but that one's not my favorite. My favorite is actually when what's his face shouts out Operation Cinder, which I don't think really has gotten a lot of traction in like mainstream Star Wars. So I want to like give it some airtime for a second.
That's the big Battlefront 2 type of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, please.
So what Operation Cinder is when after the Battle of Endor, like the rebellion, the Empire had this fail-safe plan. Like if we lose, this is what's happening, and they had pre-marked a bunch of planets with like large rebellion forces and large rebellion sympathizers and suspected rebel bases. And they targeted these systems, and they sent climate control disrupting satellites to fuck up the weather and the atmosphere of each planet. So it was called Operation Cinder because like ash and shit literally started falling from the sky and like suffocating people, and like people were dying,
taking out like entire fucking planets and
entire
whole nations.
Yeah, Operation Cinder is if we can't have this galaxy, nobody can.
It was basically the whole like kind of like the Hitler thing, where it's just like if we start to fall, like if the Allies retake Paris, blow up Notre Dame.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was the Emperor's like that was his move essentially, and so when they talk about that, that's what they're talking about. That's the day that Bill Burr kind of so it's like it's super dark. Like what the
fuck is the Empire's problem?
That's why Bill Burr was like so upset by it. It was
Operation Cinder. It was happening like I cannot even describe to you the scale. It was happening on so many planets all at the same time. Like this was a protocol that they fell back on and they had to do. And everybody who was like all of the good guys of the Empire, you know, whatever, if there were any, like all of the people who thought they were just following orders and doing what they need to, they were basically, there was no more recourse for these people. They were just like, go and just fucking murder. Just fucking kill everybody because we're done.
Sure.
And so thousands of people died like per planet, like hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, billions of people probably died from Operation Cinder. And it's this like big, heavy like cloud over the new canon, especially in the last few years, because I read Inferno Squadron, which is the lead up to Battlefront, and it stars Janina Gavinkar's character, I forgot her name, Iden Versio, and some other things, and like they talk about Operation Cinder. They like figure out that it's going to happen, and they try to defect and tell the rebellion and stuff. And but then Alphabet Squadron is a book that I'm also reading, or a series that I'm also reading, and it's fucking phenomenal. And one of the characters is a pilot who defected during Operation Cinder. They were like, I can't do this. I have to go.
Right.
Yeah.
They had a Finn moment where they're just like, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I mean, it's super heavy. It's like,
he said Cinder is their version of Order 66. And yeah, that's
sure.
Man, you a beast, dog. You never cease to impress me, G.
Right, that was all like completely like uninterrupted. Just like
it was like why? I'm like, why interrupt greatness? You know what I mean? That's rude.
No. Yeah, absolutely. No, I
but
mean,
but so when you rewatch that scene and he's like Operation Cinder, I'm so.
I was just like,
and it's just like so disgusting. Like he was such a sleazeball. Like I wanted to say, I remembered my MVP moment, which was when Bill Burr said, "I'm going to shoot this motherfucker in the face." That was just the moment for me. I was like, I can't handle it. Like you are praising the deaths of millions of people purely for your pride. Like that is what we're praising right now. Well, I don't blame him for snapping.
Well, and that also,
I've never. Oh, sorry.
It makes sense. Oh no! It makes that scene make more sense, doesn't it, Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm terrified by this man, and I didn't even know like I just knew it was like, a war crime, like your regular schmegular. He did something that
run of the mill war crimes, yeah.
But I'm like, knowing this, I'm like, yeah, he's scary. That guy's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's scary. He's disgusting. He's despicable.
Yo, can we shout out the super chat? April B with the she had mentioned her Easter egg for the episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is my first time actually like segueing into a super chat. So shout out to your boy.
You just gotta push it in there.
April B been going crazy this whole episode though. I got to shout out to her,
Yeah. I mean, like, I wish. Well, I mean, but honestly, it's like, leave Darth Denham in, you fucking cowards.
Yeah, why'd they take him out?
Also, we had somebody in the chat was like, we had 2 Game of Thrones alums in the same scene together. It would have been amazing to have the Starbucks cup in there.
They should have just been like, no, this is like the coffee cup of the
Empire. I would have rather had that than the Office Space joke.
Canon in Star Wars is the thing. Yeah. It's called
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it has Starbucks. I mean, like it would totally work, and
that would be even funnier because
Bo-Katan could come in holding one.
Yeah. Did somebody say Starbucks?
Starbucks, yes.
Right, but twist. It's been delivered by Flo.
The Queen of the Sith, baby.
Oh my God.
She can force choke me anytime.
Oh, good to know.
Let's just roll through a couple of these. Big App, can I hope for a scene of Moff Gideon yelling about Bill Burr stepping on his Jordans?
From King of Staten Island.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, fuck yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that movie. No, that was. Well, just like them in a shouting match for anything. Like Bill Burr in a shouting match of anything. Like Gideon better get the dark saber out because like he's not going to win that because Bill Burr can he can yell with the best of them. So I mean, like he's just about everybody's outmatched in that fucking department. Not Loud Parrot, Fabian Strike. The shading on Boba's helmet, new paint job is so good. I was gonna say like Boba is like he is a collector because he's like, yo, I'm cosplaying as my dad. I'm not really about this Mandalorian shit, but like I got my own fucking spin on it and stuff. And he's also, it's a very 2020 move because it wasn't very shiny. He got like that matte.
It was matte.
Oh yeah, he looks good.
It was a different look. He goes like, no, I'm not going for that.
One of those like cool cars. Well, those cars are all like blacked out. Those weird cars that are all
matte.
That's
what you're painting like minifigs. Yeah.
Right, for sure. I mean, I thought that was great. Oh wait, go, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm just tripping off. April B called Maddie the Marvel's version of the Watchers for the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
and that's literally too accurate. Like you oversee all aspects of like every like alternate universe, expanded universe prequels, sequels, and equals.
She is the Mandalorian. This was one bit that I remember from the old motherfucking school, like Tales of the Bounty Hunter book that came out in like 1996 or whatever the fuck it was that I read, and one of them was about Boba Fett. It was about Boba Fett like actually surviving and shit. And they talked about the reason that I would say that Maddie is the Mandalorian because she sees all. She sees forward, backwards, in and around. Is like the fucking cool thing about. And I don't know if this is canon anymore. I don't know if they do, but I always thought it was an awesome idea about the helmet was like because it looked the way that a Mandalorian's like helmet looks, you would think that it would be hard to see through, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the way that, at least in this extended universe story that I wrote, that's not like a visor to look through. That's like a camera, so he can literally see like his visor. He can see and like basically perceive things from like more than 180 degrees.
Ooh,
or
yeah.
like almost 360 degrees. Like he can kind of see around him. That's why
I will say I don't think that's canon anymore, but I will also say that we don't really know, like there hasn't been a new canon explanation for how Mandalorian helmets work. So it could
100% right. And it's clearly like a bit of a camera because he can like zoom in on shit and stuff like or whatever. So like I just thought that I was like, oh, that's sick. You know what I mean? Like it was just like a little kind of.
And he's got the rangefinder, which is definitely a scope, but it could also be doing the same thing.
Totally. 100%. All right, cool. Well, we got ourselves. Do we have any other?
Well, we gotta hear yours. Have you heard yours yet?
Yeah. You want to know what mine was? It was a little piece of dialogue, and it was really fun. It had to do with everybody talking about like who can show their face or not, and everybody, because they're talking about like, well, I can't fucking do it because I'm on the register, like, and then Karen Dune is like, well, I can't fucking do it because, because she's like, I'm wanted in a couple of different things or whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody's giving reasons why they can't. They go over to Boba. And they're just like, well, how about you, boss? And he's just like, well, and
let's just say it in my face.
Right. No, he was like, I got a feeling that they would recognize my face because he looks like he looks like all the clones.
Yeah.
That's
good. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's basically, it's almost like a reverse late stage capitalism thing where like people got all their jobs back from like from automation kind of in a way, you know what I mean? Like even though even though I understand like they're mass produced and stuff, even though I understand that the clones like are individuals and they all have individual personalities and they get fleshed out a lot in Clone Wars. But insofar as like, oh yeah, isn't that like, man, that's like it'd be like if you were at like a car show and you saw like a fucking beat up like 56 Chevy or whatever it is or something like in the new car parking, like oh weird, like what the fuck is he doing here? Did we get rid of those guys like not that long ago and shit, like which also would be weird, to think about like all these clone troopers like having your dad's face.
I know, right?
I have to consider.
Well, technically, you have your dad's face too, because she's a clone of his father.
Right, for sure.
I have to just consider like the daddy issues of the clones.
I can't. No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, there's got to be a lot of them, and that's one thing. And that was another show that they announced, like the Bad Batch, where they kind of follow.
Love the Bad Batch.
What's that?
I love the Bad Batch.
They're like people say they're one of the MVPs of the Filoni Clone Wars verse.
It's pretty great because they were when Clone Wars was canceled, they had a whole they had like 4 or 5 episodes of the next season like already in the can already, and they just never got to like finish them or release them or anything. So after the Clone Wars was canceled, they just kind of threw them up there, and one of them was the Bad Batch episode. And I haven't seen the final season of the Clone Wars. I know. I just don't want it to end. Now that it's actually back, I just haven't seen because I can't make myself watch it. But I'm gonna. It's only 12 episodes. So I'm gonna do it. Yeah. But the thing about it is that like I remember watching that episode like when it was canceled before it was renewed, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I wanted this. I wanted this so bad. I want to know like I want to spend more time with these clones, and I'm so sad we don't get to. And I'm so happy that we finally get the whole like a show for it.
They're bringing them back and stuff
because it's all about the rejects.
Yep.
So
yeah, so that's
I'm with
an
that.
animated
Brooke is
one.
telling me that I need to watch them ASAP. I know.
Right, everyone's like,
I know.
wait, what?
I know.
Everybody's
I was
freaking out.
being vulnerable and I expected you all to support me. Okay.
Right.
We're getting a lot of animated stuff. Aren't we getting an animated like C-3PO show too?
Something
Yeah, the
like-
droid
yeah,
tales or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little. No, they're doing like the Gonk Droid show or something like that. Which
Are we gonna get a whole show with a conch droid?
I mean, I'm so excited. We're getting
I'm sorry,
Donald Glover
like-
back. That's gonna be
Oh,
fucking amazing.
Yes. I like literally like I just saw the Andor like buzz trailer and I
Yeah.
saw like the Acolyte and I just like checked out because I was like, I'm good. That's all I need. Like
The
I was
Acolyte
coming
seems
home.
cool.
Yeah, it's by Leslie Headland and
Yeah.
she super canonically like A is a lesbian and B like pretty much is only interested in queer stories. So like fully 100% she's going to bring us the LGBTQ content we crave. And I'm so excited. And I know it's going to be like the title font of the Acolyte really reminds me of the Night Sisters. So I'm really hoping that it's going to be Dathomiri.
There we go.
Because that is my shit. And also, if anyone were to canonize lesbians in the Star Wars universe, you know it's got to be those Night Sisters. That's all.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, they're a bunch of, they're rocking like Space Fleetwood Mac out there and shit. Like, and they're I just want, because like insofar as like how interesting and like they took the Night Sisters from like OG concept art that they never used and like they brought it back into the show, I thought was like amazing. So I would love to see some shit like that.
Me too.
Before we get into Never Tell Me the Odds and do our little predictions and wrap it up, I just want to say thank you to everybody who hit us up in the super chats. You guys are awesome. This is the second to last time that we're going to do this, y'all. So if you got any more, like I'm going to miss it a lot. So if you got some that you want to holler at us with, hit us up in those super chats for sure. We appreciate y'all very much. Our size matters not moment of the week. It's not very perverted, but I couldn't, again, it's just hard for me to, because he is one of the standout elements of this episode. It was Bill Burr and just how he has we've talked about this, he has such a storied relationship, let's call it, with Star Wars insofar as he didn't, and how like there was a lot of elements, especially in that little car ride, which was another decent scene where it just felt like it was just Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast, but just in Star Wars verse, basically. We're just like, nah, it's like, I mean, is it bad that you take the helmet off or is it because you're a Mandalorian, like, and all that type of stuff. So I did a little mashup with some stuff here. We're having a choice conversation.
I can tell you guys how much I fucking hate Star Wars. I hate Star Wars so much that I only like Empire Strikes Back because he almost kills Han Solo. And he chops his hand off, right? Yeah, I just wasn't into it. And I also thought Chewbacca was fucking useless. I mean, Chewbacca was basically Bigfoot. They just gave it a different name. Typical Hollywood movie.
Right. It's just Bill Burr just like not knowing or giving a fuck about anything. Right. And then like Han. So even though he's talking about you say like, yeah, he almost killed Han Solo, but that's not what happened. That was, I mean, talk about Luke Skywalker, like even shit that Mo would catch. It was like, no, he's not even.
I've actually seen an actual clip on this podcast. That is crazy.
Yeah, no. It was just funny that he gets to have like this really cool. He's
got an action figure. Like fuck that guy.
Yeah,
exactly. Fucking.
He's got a Hasbro Mando Black Series.
So what we're gonna do is like we're gonna start a new show called Shit on Star Wars Sundays where we talk shit about.
I'm fucking there. Sign me the fuck up right now. I'm fucking there.
How would you fall in love with it and show it as much as you? Could you talk about it in long breaths about how much you love it, and you can shit on it too?
Yeah.
Betrayal.
Oh, no.
If you love something, you can criticize it with love.
Yeah, I mean, like what? No, that's
also
like,
fuck Horn. See me outside.
Right.
I love you so much. You made me do this.
Yeah,
it's some dark shit.
All right.
It's like, I mean, who talks more shit about the Snyderverse than me? And it's because, And it's not that it's.
And are you gonna watch the Snyder Cut?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
God,
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's gonna be terrible, and it's gonna be hilarious how much like people are like, no, it's like totally.
Well,
good.
like I want to talk shit about somebody's actual vision and like that. But what we talked shit about previously was a person's vision being muddled by a corporation. So I want to actively talk more shit about it once I see his final version. You know what I mean?
100%.
No. Like.
It's double the hate, double the fun.
Hey, look, Maddie, you a diverse woman, and I respect every aspect of that character. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say, I was shocked.
Right.
Look,
Here we go.
Star Wars is so controversial and so like dynamic and interesting that you can love things about Star Wars, and you can hate things about Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Like, fuck you, Zan Bong. Just see you outside.
Rise of Skywalker is sitting right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, fucking fuck this stupid ass bullshit. But here, shout out to Patrick. JJ canonized LGBTQ plus with that brief shot in. Well, like, yeah.
I wanted more, but hey.
Hey, whatever. They could easily cut out for foreign distribution, you know, like Heroes. Yeah, I mean, I felt mostly pretty cynical about that at all. Yeah, that one.
They shouldn't have mentioned that they were gonna have like.
They should have let people find it. They should have
just put it in there and never talked about it, and then it would have been fine. But
it was because they were sitting there going like, oh yeah, we did it. Oh yeah, like, and it's like, dude, like, come on, get fucking real. There's a theory out there that Moff Gideon is headed to Kamino, which would make sense if that's the case. How does Boba's past play into it? I could see that. Because if he's interested in, they're clearly interested in cloning something with Baby Yoda or doing something like they want to replicate Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that I don't necessarily know, because everybody's saying that because Pershing, he's got himself like a little symbol on his shoulder that is the same symbol that they have the cloning facility in Kamino. What that strikes me is. Maybe that symbol is more for the company or the collective and not for the specific planet. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you were wearing like if he was wearing like Pershing's in like a UPS like outfit, but he works at the one in Dallas, not the one in fucking Chicago.
So it could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. I mean, like, I think that it would be fucking cool as shit to fucking like, because they've been teasing a lot of episode 2 stuff. This season since Boba King got back into it. So it's possible. However, I don't know. I mean, like, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of CGI. They kind of like to kind of keep it a little more pared down. So we'll see. I think that it could absolutely be in the cards. So shout out to Jason for that. Appreciate it. We did it, boy. Homophobia is over.
Talk probably after that.
I know. No, it's like no. And then Poe comes up. He's like, somehow homophobia returned.
Homophobia is just releasing podcasts into the universe, and it's just recordings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Well, shit. So let's just talk about what we think is going to go in. And just I know that we thanks a lot to everybody who stuck with us and stuff like that. We really appreciate you. Shout out to all the super chatters. We love and appreciate you. We're talking about our predictions. Never tell me the odds. Next episode predictions. Emil, what, like, you got to give me the whole thing, but like, what is there anything that you're just like kind of?
Well, I'm gonna give you the whole thing, Sean.
No. Well, no. It was like, well, I mean, I think I'm all about that. But insofar as like, what is 100? What would you say is the most likely thing? It's like dead ass. This shit.
Well, you know, my boy Mando need a vessel. So the way I see it, my man's Boba finna follow. His head is gonna follow the same direction his father's did and roll across the screen, so that my man's Mando can get his own ship again. You know,
you think that Boba's eating it?
You know, it was cute for a while, but you know, all things must come to an end. Same as my sandwich a little earlier. It was really good, but you know, I was heartbroken when I was last bite. You know, and this is the last episode of the season.
Boba?
Hey, you know, the time is eating away. You know what I'm saying? He only got so much, so it's like, yeah. So his father died due to the lack of time he had in the series. Look at all. It's like poetry. You know what I'm saying? 2 pounds ago.
Just do your research, Morgan.
Hey, he gonna get hit with look. Actually, get hit with the dark saber and get that to me kinked. They're gonna be like, whoa. Actually, and then like the sharpshooter gonna carry. She gonna be like.
Imagine if they killed Boba Fett next episode.
Okay, I'll say this. To your point, the fact that he didn't do a lot, because that whole thing, because he was famously, he's this bounty hunter, and he's they're turning him into like a little bit more of this anti-hero type of thing, like where he's like, we'll help you protect the kid because I briefly said one thing to you right before we got into like a kind of a firefight, and apparently now I'm quested to do this shit like super hardcore, which is whatever, it's fine. I mean, like I like the fact that they're taking that route with him, but not a lot. Not a lot happened with him. Like not a lot of like if they would have had like a heartwarming beat with him in some way.
That's what happened next episode. Watch.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So if in the first 10 minutes we get like, man, it's been quite a ride, but I'm happy to be a part of it along with my new. I'm taking one last look at my friends, or some shit like that.
He gonna tell Mando that he got plans to like escape this whole universe to like, take sharpshooter to like a different place, back to Narth, and then like eventually, he gonna get this shit because they don't go against the Moff Gideons of the world, Kink, and then so on and so forth. And look, what probably will happen is once he get X'd out of here, X-wing, then his shorty, aka the sharpshooter, she gonna be his personal bodyguard now because she gotta help him fulfill the mission. Ooh,
interesting.
Yeah, I'm just throwing shit out there. I'm just throwing paint at the wall, saying
I think honestly that there's a lot of merit to that, because like it just seems like if they're going to. They brought him back. He got a hell of a fucking encore to come back and I mean, he came in and played played hits that we never even knew that he was capable of playing, and fucking killed it. And
check out my knee, bow, Rocky edition.
Right, rocket knee rockets. Like you got all this cool shit, and like it seems like if they were going to wrap it up, like that would be one way. And like nobody's died in a while. Like nobody. Like the show hasn't really had stakes. I mean, like shit, like Moff Gideon putting the dark saber through Boba Fett's fucking chest. If you want to actually inform me, I mean, like, if you can't give me a reason to hate this guy in so far as like storytelling and whatever, you got to have something crazy. You got to have some crazy shit like that happen. Oh, hi.
Hear me out.
What's up, girl?
Hear me out.
What?
Boba Fett gets cut in half with the dark saber, falls down a pit, harnesses the hatred of the dark side to fuel him, obtains spider legs.
Yes, Darth Maul spider legs.
And now we have Boba Fett spider legs. And then he rethinks his life. And then he goes, a long time ago. And then he goes, I am no longer Mandalorian. I am me. I am I. I am Italian, and my name is Roberto Fettuccini. And I am Mandalorian, baby.
I am a Mandalorian. What do you do? Like, whatever. Yeah, there'll be a lot.
What is it? Hang on. My friend Brad texted me this earlier. I was mad because I made a really good joke at him, and then he made a better joke at me back. But I told him that my joke was still better. So, but he said, when Darth Maul kills you while having survived his fall, Mandalore.
Oh my god!
And I just needed to perform that here for you, lovely people.
That was beautiful.
There you go. Well, now that he's an Italian gentleman, we got to go back and redub his fucking voice again, because they famously had to redub his shit for the special editions and shit like that. It's like I like this. Like, no, I'm from like Rome, Italy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, or whatever. It's like that's what he.
Amazing. Incredible.
That New Zealand accent. Every production, whoever owns the dark saber is coming for it, and they're gonna stifle Moff's plans.
Did someone say Bo-Katan? Because I think I heard Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan is going to be the Knights of the Veil of this episode. I feel, but that's
so.
I want it to be. I want it to be true. I want it to be. I want Bo-Katan to be Bo-Katan Gelf. Bo-Katan Gelf the White.
She's coming back for sure.
Yes.
Emil, what do you got over there as far as your? Oh wait, no, we already did.
That's right. He gonna die.
Boba Fett's dead.
I'm sorry, both.
Also, he gonna drop a mixtape. He gonna drop a mixtape on his corpse too that somebody gonna pick up, and then it's gonna lead to like Hustle and Flow Part 2, Star Wars Strikes Back. Yeah.
It's hard out here. Wait, it's hard out here for a Fett.
It's hard out here for a Fett. When you trying to get that money for the ship.
Get out.
Then
There's the door.
then they cut to Thrawn in a bathroom, like pulling the mixtape apart and pissing on it.
Oh my God! And that's how Terrence Howard gets back under Disney's employ too.
Hey man, you gotta respect me, man. Respect me instead of respect. Say respect me. Respect me, man. Respect me, man. Respect me.
Dude, and then we get Terrence Howard, and then we also get Ludacris in Star Wars. I'm all about that shit. Like,
honestly, Admiral Thrall. If Ludacris isn't Admiral Thrall, then he has no place in this universe. But whoever is Admiral Thrall, gotta rip apart the mixtape on some hating shit. After agreeing to sign Boba Fett to his label, Can I Fat label, Can I Fat record.
Are we doing Too Fat, Too Furious? Is that what we're doing now?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, Too Fat to Handle. That's the name of the EP. Oh my God.
it's like who's your Hoth keeper? What you keep in your Hoth?
Oh my.
Hey, Bob,
I'm just saying.
Bobalicious Fett.
We might as well, we're not going to quit right now, but this is one of the high points of our that I can say for all time. Drases, do you have any fucking predictions?
They're gonna answer why Moff Gideon, Mothballs, is so underwritten. It's revealed he's like a droid powered, piloted by who is that little guy? Babu Frick.
Babu Freak.
Babu Frick.
His chest opens up, and it turns out he's not actually. He's just a droid, like with the little guy,
like full on, like Men in Black style.
Yes, yeah, and that's why he was underwritten, because he wasn't actually a real person.
Yeah.
Yo, that honestly is super possible though. Let's just be real about that.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. I want to pop. Is this anything? Is this anything?
What?
Babu Frick. Boba Fett.
BF.
Babu Frick. Boba Fett.
I've never seen them in the same room at the same time.
Good old Babu Fett.
You know, that's what they say about me and Daisy Ridley.
Yeah. Also,
there we
Babu Frick could be like a rejected clone because he didn't fully hatch because he's so little. And he's
That's
like,
true.
oh. He's
Morgan just wants a Babu Frick extended universe.
And who can blame her, truly?
I mean, I can't say that I'm not down for it. Dustin, you got any predictions over there, babe? What do you
I think we're getting a Jedi. Another Jedi. I think somebody's answering the.
I thought you said a Jedi, and I was like, you mean
we're getting a Volkswagen Jetta, a space Jetta.
A Death Star is going to come up and blast us off the face of the earth.
Somebody we've seen before, or just like a very obscure character?
I think it'll be like either. It'll probably be young Luke.
You think it's young Luke?
You think already cast
I don't think they're going to touch this thing with a Skywalker. I don't.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I don't think they're going to bring Luke in when it's the Mandalorian.
What if they got Lakeith Stanfield as a young Mace Windu?
Dude.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude.
I want that so bad. I want that so bad. Like, I don't understand how it can make you understand, but I want that so bad.
You already get that 30 seconds ago. When you first said it, I believed you wholeheartedly.
I mean, insofar as like, because I'm kind of with you, D. Insofar as like the only thing to me that kind of stops, because like they need to do little to no explanation to introduce Luke into the story. Mm-hmm. That's kind of why it can't really be Ezra unless they're literally gonna like cut to black like on his face and we're like, who's that? You know what I'm saying?
That'd be a great cliffhanger.
No, I think no, and not to say that I don't think that it would be, but
I don't think it will. But if they have the balls to do that, then more power to them.
It would be it would be sick. But insofar as like we all kind of like, you know, if you're watching the show, you have a vague notion of Skywalker. I'm assuming you do, and
who's
so
that?
just. Well, right, exactly. I mean, like, hey, there's gonna be a lot of kids that are growing up on The Mandalorian that are gonna be like, "What, the movies? Those old pieces of shit! Get the fuck out of here!" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna be
so boring.
No, they're gonna be like, "This is my Star Wars." This happens every time that a new Star Wars media comes out. So, like, all this fucking prequel bros that are fucking heating on everybody and having their little moment in the sun, get ready for the sequel fucking kids that are gonna be coming up in about 5 to 10 years who just ride hard for those movies.
So we're gonna have the trilogy kids. We're gonna have the sequel sequel kids. Then we're gonna have the Mando kids.
Then we have the Mando kids. Absolutely.
I guess actually we had like sequel kids. Then we had Clone War kids.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
we don't have any Rise of Skywalker.
Is Grogu the Raylo baby? Discuss.
Oh my god!
Right?
I haven't seen his chest, so I don't know.
Right? Okay. Number two. What is it? Like, contestant for the Raylo baby. Paul Atreides. From
Who's
Dune.
that?
The main character of Dune. Timmy Chalamet.
Oh!
Okay, yeah, for sure. Oh, Timmy.
That could totally be the Raylo baby.
I think
because
it's
he's
Raylo
kind
baby.
of magic.
Yeah.
Right. Well, actually, hopefully, but like when they bring Little Yo back, because this got sent to me over the wire, and hopefully we don't get fucking nuked on fucking YouTube for showing this shit right now. But
Show it.
remember what everybody had said when I was talking about, like, if you need a dick caricature drawn, the motherfucker.
Oh man, it is a wrap.
is our buddy Alex Cruz, aka Kyle Hagrid, and look what it got sent to me.
Oh man, that is perfect.
I mean, like, if
I
you
didn't know what you meant, but now I know what you mean.
How
I
dare
didn't
he?
understand, but now I do.
no, he
I
literally
see the light.
like Superbad is a fucking documentary about this motherfucker's ability to draw dicks into whatever caricature you want.
He drew that is crazy though. Like it was way more Yoda than Dick. I was surprised. I thought I was gonna see like an NSW as you know what I'm saying.
And Lex is good enough, and everybody who knows Lex, he's been on our Game of Thrones reactions, our Watches in the Bar reactions.
Draw me as a dick, Alex, please.
No, I mean, like, again, he did that.
He's a dick Jedi.
The Dick Jedi for sure. he's handled the Dick Saber, but
You know who's a dick Jedi? You know who's a dick Jedi?
Who?
Kit Fisto. Do you know who Kit Fisto is?
That.
We're taking it to a whole weird direction now.
Morgan, please Google Kit Fisto right now.
right, he's like the most unfortunately named motherfucker in all.
I
of
mean,
Star
the
Wars.
word fist is right there. So
Yeah,
I'm
right
excited.
but also he is canonically the hottest Jedi.
Okay, what? That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, he is.
He's just a dick.
Yeah,
he's just the shirtless tentacle man.
Walking tentacle porn. Like he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, that's all
he
that.
could.
He did it, right?
What them hair do?
Right? Oh my god. No, so all right. So before we get totally off the rails, and I'm loving how off the rails we've gotten, but just to bring it back a little bit, we're gonna go through the super chats because I think that we've gone through a couple of things that we think are gonna happen in the show. I think that everybody made some good points. Again, shout out to all the super chats.
When you were podcasting, I studied the penis. I'm sorry. I just had to shout out that comment right there.
I love it. I love it. Oh my god. All right. So let's shout out again to Louise Brooks. Thank you so much. Do you think the storytelling is limited by the need to fix the mess that was the previous movies? I feel like FNF or Favroloni are trying to duct tape it all together. I don't know.
Damn, D&D for FNF. That's good
Yeah.
shit. I've never beat that.
I would say that I think that not necessarily fix insofar as far as like a retcon thing. I don't know if they're necessarily worried about that so much as they are trying to just kind of like
Tell the story.
Yeah, like they're just trying to tell to craft a well-told tale and kind of, you know, like it doesn't seem like they're trying to retcon shit. They're just trying to just, you know, kind
So
of
I have thoughts about this.
yeah.
I'll let you finish your thought.
Oh no, just reclaim the once mighty mantle. You know, because Star Wars was kind of ended. The saga ended at kind of. Oh, what's going on, Khaleesi? How you doing there, baby girl?
She was making noises. I just want to make her not be noisy.
I got you.
Okay, sorry.
But like, insofar as like, I think that they're just trying to like make it. They're trying to make Star Wars great again. they're trying.
Wow.
I mean, no, they are. I mean, like insofar as like they're kind of trying to interweave like this cool thing and start like a new era. Because again, with all of the fucking. With like because apparently every single third extra in the background has their own fucking 12 episode show now and shit. Like the guy who got shot, who just had like his who just walked into the mess hall, the lunch tray guy's got his own show. He's doing 8 episodes in 2022. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I would watch it too. I mean, like, but so far, I think that they're not trying to retcon shit. They're just trying to like I don't know. They're just trying to get this thing kind of working again. You know what I mean? I think that's basically how it was. Shout out to Gabe. Let's fucking pop this one up. Gideon is the Obadiah Stane of the Star Wars universe. I think he's talking about the character that Jeff Bridges played in Iron Man. Maybe. I don't know. I don't
even remember that.
It was
Obadiah. Do you know who Obadiah is?
No.
He's Jeff Bridges in Iron Man.
Bridges in the Iron Man movie. Yeah.
Like I guess so. Maybe I don't know.
Too soon to tell, in my opinion.
Yeah, we know. I don't know. Again, I have no fucking idea who this guy is. Like, I don't have word one on who this guy is. So
that's the name Obadiah, though.
What's that?
Shout out to the name Obadiah, bro. It's like you want to be Jebediah so bad, bro, but you just couldn't commit.
And shout out to Jeff Bridges, who is like fighting cancer right now and just posted his update today. He's like, he shaved his whole head and like has a dog and like he looks tired, but he also looks like he's doing really well. So just like send some good thoughts out for Jeff Bridges because he's
we need him.
He's my dad. When I found out he had cancer, I like reacted as if my dad had cancer. So like that's where we're at.
He's like America's he's like America's coolest uncle.
Yes.
That's Snoop Dogg, bro. You tripping.
Yeah, right. Also, 100%.
He calls everybody nephew. Because Jeff Bridges calls you nephew online one time. But shout out to Jeff Bridges. Hope you get better, bro. The dude abides. Okay, to be true.
We had Patrick. I think this is an old one. Gideon seems. Oh no, we already got to that one. I think how are we doing? Like, did we? It seems like I tried to get to them as they kind of.
We got a lot of them.
We got a good. Oh, here we got one more from another one from King Sabretooth that we wanted to get in there. We'll get that one real quick.
Wow.
Pop that one off. This one's fun. Imperials need to invest in door locks. Cara Dune split into that tank way too easy, and she didn't even need tools. Also, they need to invest in door locks. They need to invest in better helmets.
Helmets and HR department.
A lot.
Listen. The path to the turf side could include many abilities, which some consider unnatural. So, like,
that's right. Is Grand Admiral Thrawn Gideon's boss?
Yeah. See, Gideon is a Moff, and Thrawn is a Grand Admiral. So, like, one outranks the other automatically.
Right. So I didn't even know Moff wasn't his first name.
So Moff.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I seriously just thought that was his first name.
Grand Moff Tarkin. Grand Moff?
No, I don't even know who that is.
Also, you being classist right now, Maddie. Don't do that to us. We thought it was a safe space. We didn't know. We just didn't know.
He's Darth Vader's right hand man in the original trilogy.
Oh yeah. I know Tarkin, but I didn't know he was like. I forgot the Moff part.
Grand Moff Tarkin. Yeah. So Moffs are basically, it's like a really old British word for governor, essentially. Right. So like Moffs are like governors. Basically a Moff essentially controls a whole planet, or like a whole platoon or something. Like it is that executive sort of level. So
the blue guy could be the new guy.
Possibly.
Potentially.
What? Okay. Anyway, go ahead, Maddie.
Well, I was just going to say that, like, we know that the Krennic is director, so he's on a project. We know that Admiral Ray Sloan controls a fleet, but a Grand Admiral controls a bunch of fleets. So, like, Grand Admiral is like, I think that's the highest rank besides Grand Moff. Like, I don't think they're the same, but I think they are similar structures, kind of like the Army and the Navy or whatever. Like, they're just totally different things. Right. But yeah, so like Grand Admiral Thrawn is technically Gideon's boss in that he outranks him, but we don't know if they're on the same level yet.
We don't even know, like, because like Gideon could be like a rogue, like, he
might not even be still a Moff. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
Imperial
I'm saying.
Remnant. They could be doing whatever they want.
For sure. Let me see. I think we got just about everybody. I mean,
there's one from
someone just, I think, super chatted.
Oh, let me see.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did I make that up?
There was one from Jason McLean about Moff Gideon headed to Camino. Did we do that one?
Yes, okay, we talked about it. Yeah. They'll explain Ezra in Ahsoka, and then after that, he can come for Grogu. Yeah. I think that there's a season away from a Jedi returning Returning. Okay, so I mean, like, I think that would be smart. I mean, like, I would definitely like to just. It would be nice to just end this story on only the characters that we have essentially been introduced to or been telling in this season. To have just like I mean, you know, it doesn't make sense for it to be Ahsoka because she's the motherfucker that told him to fucking. You know, unless he was just like, "Yo, girl, like we're in bad motherfucking shape right now," she could have heard that, but unless I think that would be smart to leave it, let it lie, and to let it kind of go. Kind of leave it. What's up, babe?
As far as the super chat thing, April B just commented that we forgot one of them that she put, and it was D&D.
Okay.
And I'm just trying. I know you only one man, so I'm trying to do my part.
I'm trying to make sure.
Oh no, you gotta make sure we get them all.
Yeah, we like Pokemon. We got to get them all. They'll explain Ezra and Ahsoka, and then after that, it can come for Grogu or season. Yeah, so I think that's well said.
Does April have any more?
There's one in reference to a D&D theory about like it says in D&D fashion. I don't know if
there it is.
There it is. Yeah, we did that.
Ooh.
No.
I can't see.
Pirate 7.
I know you got to highlight it. That's part of the charm. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what like just so I can. But we got another one in. Here we go. In D&D fashion, Mando freaks out, kills everyone. I mean, that'd be
April B for that one. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to April. Thank you very much.
I hate it. It was like Grogu killing Mando. Oh no.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, like we've already kind of ran this simulation before, and it didn't really work out that good the first time. So I mean, like unless we're willing to devote like a couple of seasons to fleshing that type of thing out, I think that I think that not. But you know, I mean, like again, never say never. It's fucking Star Wars.
Shout out to Alex who did super chat us besos.
Yeah, but he said it in Spanish, so we didn't understand.
I did.
I pulled out my Rosetta Stone just for that, dog.
Right? I sent kisses. There he is. Cal Hayes. There he is.
Look at that beard, though. Where does the hair stop and the beard begin? I can never tell.
I mean, like,
the beard is 2 days old.
If he put on Mando's helmet, he would basically look like Boba does when he got into the suit because he still had like the shawl that he was wearing, like coming out the bottom or whatever.
That's a great photo, Alex.
I would love to see. But again, another shout out to the little yo. To the little yo of it all. This is probably going to be like I don't know. I might be banned from YouTube after this is over for showing.
It's barely a dick though. It's more of a
Grogu. It's a Grogu.
Do y'all know what they call those in Scotland?
What?
Grogu.
Ball bags.
Ball bags.
Ball bag.
The ball bag. Yeah. So we have two options here. We have ball goo, and we have ball bag fit.
Ball bag
fit.
Ball bag fit. BAW.
Little ball bag frick over there. You know what I mean?
BAWBAG. Ball bag.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The thing is, like you said, you can go back and you can watch all the previous ones that we've done, or most of the previous ones that we've done that didn't get copyright struck. Even though this one, who knows, might evaporate in front of our eyes like a fucking force ghost because
Copyright strikes.
Copyright strikes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Heather. We really do. And I think that's everybody. I mean,
and that is c'est la vie.
And that is c'est la vie. I mean, like, yeah.
We did it.
I think that the show is. I think that it's. I also think it's going to be hopefully longer than the premiere. Hopefully we crack.
Hopefully longer than this live stream. Like wouldn't that be great?
That'd be nice.
Oh my God, to get a 2-hour finale.
Disney Plus don't work like that, bro.
No, it does not.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe they're saving it all. So I think we're going to get more than 60 minutes. I think it'll be
like another 55 or something like that.
I think it's going to be 55.
Any episode this season 55?
I think that was the premiere was.
The premiere was like 55, 57, and then it's all been
down from there, right? 30, yeah. So I would super be down for 55.
Mike, I would bet if we're going to do it this season, we crack an hour next week. So we shall see.
And we don't have to wait 4 days.
Yeah, we're almost there. And also another thing that we're
It's
doing.
gonna be a sad Christmas because we have no Mandalorian.
No more
We'll have Mando next Christmas.
We will.
Well,
yeah, that's when it comes out. But we do get Pedro on Christmas because we get Wonder Woman.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that'd be fun. Absolutely, that's what I'm thinking. So, like, I think that
let's meet back up. Let's meet back up and be like, all right, what did Wonder Woman 2 tell us about the Mandalorian?
Pedro Pascal still got it.
Treat it like episode 9 of the Mandalorian and see what happens.
I'd totally be down for like we could probably do like a discussion of Wonder Woman, like live stream, and maybe talk about like the whole, HBO Max streaming kind of interesting kind of thing of it all. We can maybe we'll put something together like that. Oh shit,
we got another super chat. Yeah,
right under the wire.
Maybe Gideon's knowledge of all his enemies from last season in any way connected to Thrawn's love of art history as a tactic to his known enemies. I mean, like, I
could have been trained by him or worked
I think they were
him.
trying to evoke Thrawn with the season 1 finale. I really do. I really do think that that's what they wanted to like give the feeling of like an enemy who knows his enemies. And I think that if it is like originally, I think that it was maybe just a reference to that sort of trope or like type of character archetype. Yes, that's the word, archetype. But if there is a connection, I love that serves as a worthy callback to it.
Or like if they do end up being kind of working within tandem, then that will definitely kind of clock and make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree, 100%.
For sure. Well, I mean, shit. I think we're about ready to wrap it up. Just one of the.
Oh my God, April!
What happened? Oh, Jesus. Come on.
Oh, Jesus.
As BrokeBoyGamer says on his podcast every once in a while.
We love you, April.
Thank you so much, April. We really do appreciate you right here. Seriously. Just again, shout out to everybody who threw in for the super chats tonight. We had a great time. You guys are killing it out there with the theories, the comments, everything like that. I can't wait to see how it works out. If you guys want a little more action as far as prediction, if you want an entire episode of just predictions for the finale, if you want to see that, predictions, we're extended this coming Thursday at 3:30 Central. And at 3:30 p.m. Central this Thursday, we're doing a little before the episode drops. We're getting together with Kyle from Fundo Media and Helena from Clueless, the Clueless Nerd Girl, are going to be joining. We're going to be talking just about what we think is going to go down in the next episode. I think it's going to be a lot of fucking fun. We hope that y'all come on over for more. If not, just check us out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central, we're getting together on another live stream. And then after that, the final Mando Monday live stream. And it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be, I'm excited. I'm super stoked, but mostly I'm just doped. Like I'm just doped. I might be doping. Who knows? But I am just like super.
Settle down there, Lance Armstrong.
I'm just like super stoked that I get to hang out with my friends and that I get to have this kind of weekly thing with all of you guys. The chat makes it great. And my co-host and our guests and my friends just make it even greater. So I just really appreciate everybody.
You make a great time.
Right. No, for real, man. I mean, like, Emil, I love you. Everybody, check out Emil. Emil, what do you got going on? Where can people find you?
Push him over that 1 million mark.
We gotta
I'm 20,000 away from my first million views on a video, dog. Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. But either way, you can find your boy on YouTube under the same name, BrokeBoyGamer. But I ain't gonna be broke for long. You hear me? Also, you know what I'm saying? You can find me on Instagram, the No Phone Fonz. At the end of the skits, you usually find my name there. You know what I'm saying? Look, just trying to be a carefree black man. You know what I'm saying? But thank my boy Sean, you know what I'm saying, inviting your boy, let me do my thing. Every time it's a black dude directing, I got to direct the conversation, And then, you know what I'm saying, Maddie being the watcher of all things, you know what I'm saying, keeping us on the straight and narrow, all up from a galaxy far, far away. And she's never too far away from my heart, though. Talk about it. Also, you know what I'm saying, we got the Drases. Look, Morgan keeps switching up for y'all. Justin giving you style, swag, motherfucking great content, great jokes. He gave you his whole fan fiction in one episode. Talk about it. Morgan got 2 colors now. She got one head with 2 colors on it. Talk about it. If you ain't subscribed, if you ain't liking this, you ain't commented, what is you doing, dog? Merry Christmas to you. Woo!
There we go. Can't say it better. Can't say it better than that. We appreciate y'all very much. We will see y'all next week. We'll see you on Thursday, and then we'll see y'all next week.
Everybody.
I think we. I mean, yeah, dude. We're done. We're done.